listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to the Cult Movie Cantina.
Woo! Woo!
This is the podcast that takes a look at some of your favorite cult films, and adds an alcoholic beverage.
Me.
Shows someone who's not seen them, and then we talk about it. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by, as always,
Your Lady of Libations, Countess Stephanie von Frankenberry.
Jestina, your jellicle jester.
she who knows no movies,
Admiral.
at your service.
At ease.
We have a thing.
I love it.
We have
It's
guests.
always a conversation about the thing, too.
That's
every time.
That's every time.
Yeah.
And then number 2.
And then
Number 2.
And then our producer, number 2, Caleb.
Number 2.
Hey,
Who does number 2 work for? He works for
For
us.
Mobcast.
He works for us. My closest doing Lorne Michaels. I've been listening to a lot of. There's an SLNL podcast by Dana Carvey and David Spade.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. But my favorite thing is that everyone has a Lorne Michaels impression, and
awesome.
hearing everyone's doing their Lorne Michaels, which is basically Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
And so it's just.
Scotty.
Yes, the sketch is not very good. No, it's not going to make dress. It's the closest I can get to it, but it makes me laugh. So, we have guests today.
Woo!
Hello.
Hi.
I know these people, too.
We know though. Johnna Famer's back,
Hello.
and then we have Pablo.
Everyone has such a fancy title to their name.
But
Go
you're
ahead
like,
and make
and
one.
I'm just Pablo.
But
Yeah,
you
right.
don't make
One
one
name.
right now.
That's it.
right. You're like
Johnna.
Cher or Madonna.
You're Pablo.
Pablo. So-
Neither's an insult.
or Jesus.
Jesus, he only had one. Well, I only
Shooting
went
a
by
little
one.
high, but I'll take it. Okay. All right.
So we have guests today. It's gonna be really, really fun. I'm excited to have our guests, and this is
And
gonna,
quite possibly favorite of yours, the movie.
I'm.
Is it number 1 or it's like number 3 for me of
It's-
all time? This is why we're here, because we are nerds over this movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I am so excited about our Clerks run that we're doing.
Oh yeah.
I'm
so-
a Kevin Smith nerd to the hilt.
Yeah,
Oh,
so yeah,
God,
we're doing
me
Clerks,
too.
Clerks 2, and then we're joining we're going to go see Clerks 3 as a family, and then
Yes.
podcast on that
Woohoo!
because Clerks 3 is only going to be a Fathom event,
All right.
and it's like it's only 2 days, and so
Mhm.
it's like, well, so
Pick your day.
it's going to be fun. You can find us where you listen to podcasts. We're on everything. Please rate and like and subscribe. That helps us out. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Cult Movie Cantina. You can see our smiling faces on YouTube at youtube.com/Mopcast Network. We're on the TikToks, as the kids say.
The TikTok.
We do the tiki-talkies.
I don't think they say
I don't
that.
think they say that either.
I don't think they say
I
that.
don't
No.
know.
I'm just waiting on Scotty to slide into my DMs,
DMs.
Sliding into those
Yeah.
DMs.
as the kids say.
And the kids, we're on TikTok at Mobcast. I will be at GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's next week. Yeah, next weekend. Whatever next weekend is.
13th and 14th.
No, it's the one after that. So
20th
it's
and 21st.
20th and 21st.
I
I'll
was
be
not
there.
told math would be involved in
Me
this.
neither. I didn't realize. I should have wrote the
You'll be-
dates.
They're the week after next?
Yeah, so
The 20th and the 21st.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm doing. So fun fact, John and I are going to the same place next Friday.
Yeah, we are.
Where are you going next
We're
Friday?
going. We'll be in New Orleans, at a different venue.
Yeah.
Did you see our venue changed?
Oh, no.
No, our venue
Thank
changed.
God I'm here. No.
Yeah, our venue changed.
What's in New Orleans?
We're going to go see the podcast that inspired this one.
How
Oh,
did this
okay.
get made?
How did this get made? And
Why
so
do I keep doing my hair
Never
like
heard
this?
of it.
it's a great podcast. That's basically this format without the alcohol or the person who's never seen it.
So not as cool.
No, it's cool.
Not as
That's
cool,
We
dare I
have.
say.
We have. They're just more famous.
So
We'll
where
get
was
there.
the venue? Where was it going to
It was
be?
going to be at
The
Mahalia
Mahalia Jackson, but it's not now.
Jackson.
It's
Where is it?
It's Let me get my email.
You would have showed up at the wrong place and called Scotty
Dude,
and
I
been
would
like,
have.
Scotty,
I'd be
Moved
like,
it to
Scotty,
the Smoothie King
where is
Center,
it?
right?
Right, it sold that many tickets.
Due to demand.
my problem is that I had really good seats, and
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm curious how that's going to translate over.
Well, Scotty got in on the pre-sale.
The Fillmore
so
New
I called
Orleans.
Scotty. What's the pre-sale? We all
So
got good tickets.
It's the Fillmore New Orleans is where it's going to be.
The Fillmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I should check my email more.
your original tickets will not be valid for entry into the new venue. The Fillmore New Orleans will have new tickets waiting for you at the box office the night of the event.
Comparable to the tickets you purchased.
Hopefully.
Because if I'm a balcony monster when I pay money to be
No,
on the
no,
floor,
no, no, no. That's not happening.
I'm gonna throw a Karen fit.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
that's
straight
not
up throw a
gonna
Karen fit.
Just go ahead and take a wig, and if it happens, just
Just be like, all
flip
right.
it on and be like,
Be
I
like,
need to speak to your
video
manager.
this. I need to speak to a manager.
Yeah, put the
Somebody
earrings
get your
in so that
phone.
you can take them out.
Take them
Yeah.
out.
Oh, my earrings, girl.
Put them in just so you can be like, I need to speak to
Yeah.
your manager and take them out.
I'm gonna stack my hair up with a bump it.
We watched the 1994. I would definitely call this a cult classic.
Oh, absolutely.
Clerks, written and directed by Kevin Smith. Real quick, you have this thing that you've been doing on the show for years.
For years.
For years, that you want to be in a Kevin Smith movie.
So bad.
Apparently, all you got to do is just ask. So when we see him in New Orleans, let's just try that.
Okay.
I'm just going to ask.
I mean, I've asked on our podcast.
No, but
and
we'll see him
stuff,
if
You
Yeah,
gotta, you
yeah.
gotta in person.
Okay.
So he was. Someone asked if he could help. He did another podcast in L.A., and someone asked him if he could help that guy get on a Star Wars movie. And he goes, I don't know anyone in the Star Wars movie. Like, I can't get him myself. But I make movies. You can be one of mine. And I'm like, if it's that fucking easy to be in a Kevin Smith movie,
Yeah.
we're going to ask.
So let me give background to our guest. Johnna knows that. Pablo probably knows this too. I've been, in theater and acting for 30 years, 30
I
plus
did not
years.
know this. I'm learning for the
You're
first
just
time.
learning. So, and I have always said, I've told Scotty this, that, everybody has that, I know I've made it if I've worked with this person in the industry. And usually it's, the big name director, Spielberg, and, all that. Mine is Kevin Smith. If I could just be in a Kevin Smith movie, just one, I would be done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
so
you and me
I was
both
like,
said
that's all
that.
I need to
So
do.
we're gonna-
I just want to be in a Kevin Smith
And so
film.
we got tickets to see him last
Yeah.
year at Fan Expo New Orleans, but he canceled because of COVID. But so he's postponing this year. So we just held the tickets over. So we're
Was
gonna
that February?
January.
January.
So at first New Year we'll see him, and then we're just gonna. I'm gonna find out.
Just ask him.
Make
Seriously.
sure you're wearing like a secret camera because I want to see that reaction if he says yes.
It's
Well,
going to be fantastic.
I'm gonna wear a Yoga Hoser shirt
And I'll wear
Makes sense.
something.
because
I'll
I
have
love
something.
Yoga Hosers.
It's ironic
We saw that in the theaters.
that's even possible now. Back in the old days, Kevin was also one of the first people to really utilize the power of the internet.
Absolutely.
To get
Right.
his fan group together. His old View Askew board was
Right.
a message board where he would actually interact with people, which you used to never get that. Tony Scott, Ridley Scott, these people didn't interact with, directors didn't interact with their fans of their
Fans.
movies
No.
on
No.
an internet message board. But Kevin did.
Yeah.
And a lot of his cast did too. And one of the first rules when you signed up was do not ask to be in a movie. Because obviously he can't put a
Yeah.
million people
Everybody in
in a
the
movie.
Right.
film.
And so it's
And
kind of
now,
ironic that
yeah.
now he's more open to that.
All I'm gonna say, it doesn't hurt to ask. We're gonna be there.
All he
Yeah.
can say
Right.
is no.
I mean,
That's
All
right.
you can do is say no. Be like,
And-
cool, no
yeah.
problem. We'll ask again another year. Time.
That's right.
but
We are gonna keep. We're
We'll
gonna
keep this up.
We'll keep this
it,
up.
it's
We're
funny
not-
how ahead
I
he
would
was
like
of
for him
that
to
though,
just-
because nowadays, like that's kind of the norm. Is if you're on Twitter, you can just
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah.
whoever you want,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and some will react.
But Kevin Smith's always been accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, always.
For
and he was
sure.
podcasting before it was cool.
Yep.
I think
mean, it
that's
was
such a big
just-
reason why he's so beloved. Is he stayed very grounded to
Right.
me and humble and doesn't
open.
think himself to be better than his fans. He knows he was a fan at one point.
Absolutely.
So-
He's still a fan.
Yeah,
He's
he
still
still
a
is.
fan.
Yeah.
If you listen to his podcast, he's definitely a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Clark stars Brian Ohallran as Dante, Jeff Anderson as Randall, Mariyln Ghigliotti as Veronica, Jason Mewes as Jay, Kevin Smith, who we just talked about, as Silent Bob, and Lisa Spooner as Keelan Bree. Justina.
Yeah.
You got some fun facts of
I
1994 for us.
Do have some fun facts, friends. Let me flip to it because we've done a few different productions
We have done,
now.
yeah.
So I've got to
We've
find.
got a whole book of this.
I know. Hold
trying
on.
to think, where
hold
was
on.
I in '94?
was
Oh, I
a
went one page too far.
Junior
Nobody
high
looked.
school.
I think I had just moved back to the States from Japan.
I was
had
5.
or maybe I was still in Japan, depending on what
Or
part
no,
of
I was in
'94
fourth
was.
grade.
Fourth grade, so you're 5, fourth grade.
I was listening to the microwave to know when to walk to school. I did that in kindergarten. They would set the microwave and I walked to school in kindergarten.
Jack was born in '95, so depending on when this movie came out, I was either pregnant or about to be.
Right.
I can't answer because the mystery of my age would then be resolved.
That's right.
You
I
don't
was
have
fresh
to.
back from Saudi Arabia from being in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a buddy of mine was
Crazy.
like, you got to see this movie, Clerks.
Yeah. I'm thinking. I really think I was in Japan.
See,
still
I
when
didn't see
this
it till
movie
I didn't
came
see it
out.
till a year later when it was on video. So, because they didn't show stuff like that down here. We didn't see
Sure.
anything down here,
I didn't
and
watch
it didn't
it
have a
the
wide
first time till high school.
distribution anyway.
Yeah, he was a movie theater manager, and he had seen the trailer somewhere, but they didn't show it.
I
And so
was-
once it hit home video,
Yeah.
the trailer was enough to get him, and he was like, "Ooh,
I was
we
definitely
gotta
in
check this
Japan.
out." And then he said, "Oh man, this is
decided.
incredible."
It was something.
I didn't
new.
move back to
So
the
props
States
to Paul
until
Schaefer.
April of 95.
Well done.
And Jack was born when?
July of 95.
So you were pregnant when you got
Yeah.
the flu.
I had to think. That's a long time ago.
So, fun facts. What gaming system was released this year?
94.
PlayStation.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So we had that.
And if you had to guess, what do you believe the price of the daily newspaper was in 1994?
A quarter.
50 cents.
75 cents.
It was a quarter. Well done.
wow.
I wish it was still a quarter. Now it's $5 and a quarter after tax. It's fine. We're going to play one of my favorite things. Stephanie, we're going to guess the leading men and Hollywood hunks. There are 4, and they're very well known. I know all of them, so
You
that should
prob-
help you.
Brad Pitt.
That is correct.
Probably Tom Cruise.
That is correct.
Richard Gere.
That is incorrect.
No, Richard Gere wouldn't be in that. Not 94.
Hey,
John Travolta.
That is correct.
And then there's one more. Edward Norton?
Nope.
No, I wouldn't think so. He's not hunky,
Mm.
but he was around that
Well,
time.
It's also leading men.
Leading man, yeah.
And
Oh,
Primal
do they
Fear
have to be hunky or no?
No.
It's
Leading man.
and
leading men
Primal-
and Hollywood hunks.
Okay.
So it's either or.
and
What
Primal
about
Fear-
Clooney?
Clooney?
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
last
George
one.
Clooney?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
You
ER.
did good.
That's
Yeah,
true, 'cause
we
I don't
are.
think, he
I don't
didn't
think
really become
Primal
a
Fear is out by
movie
then.
star,
Yeah.
leading
Till
man,
Oceans.
for a couple of years later
Correct.
until he did Peacemaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, that's true.
Cause
Which
So-
is a dumb movie.
True.
Who do you
It's not great.
believe to be Time Magazine's Man of the Year from 1994?
Man of the Year
Mhm.
from 1994.
Time magazine.
Oh, Time Magazine Man of the Year, 94. What happened big in 94?
I don't know, man. I was in Japan.
Bill Clinton.
That is incorrect. If it helps, it's somebody the second.
The second.
Pope?
Mm-hmm.
Pope John Paul II.
That is correct.
JP2. Give it up.
All right. So we have some scandals. The first. Can anybody guess the big scandal that happened in 94?
Monica Lewinsky.
Okay, first of all, I do not have that notated, so let's pretend like you didn't say it, 'cause I don't know for sure if that was a
Then
94.
probably not. Then it's probably
Okay.
not a knife.
No. But this one prompted me to watch another. I watched 2 movies this morning before doing
Oh
all my
my
other
gosh.
stuff.
Amy Fisher,
No.
Joey Butterfield,
Oh,
That
that's
was a
that's
good
good
one,
That's a
though.
good one though.
Buttafuoco.
or OJ.
But if
OJ.
OJ's
was
95.
95.
Yeah.
OJ's 95.
94.
Because I just graduated from high school when the chase happened.
Was this the No, that's earlier. Never mind.
So it involves a broken kneecap.
Oh,
Oh,
Nancy.
I cried like Nancy Kerrigan. So you watched I, Tonya.
I did. So like I found the facts and I was like, that was another movie I've been meaning to watch and kept forgetting. I was like, fuck it, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing? So I turned it on. At that point, it was like 6 because I already watched Clerks. So I watched that for the first time this morning too. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm real fresh.
Look at
Anyway,
I slept till 9.
I had too much to do. So that happened in 94. And just for those of you that do not know, Tonya Harding and Nancy
Kerrigan.
Kerrigan were ice skating rivalry.
Nancy Kerrigan.
The Kerrigan.
And it resulted in some friends of
There
Tonya's.
could be only one.
It's okay. I said some friends, but it was her husband, which I would love to beat the shit out of that guy,
Yeah.
and his friend, Jeff and Sean and Shane and the hooligans that they hired attempting to bust Nancy's kneecaps at the U.S. Figure Skating Championship. But it turns out that Nancy did come back and get second out of that.
Yeah, do you
and
know who she lost to?
I do not, actually.
Ukrainian
Oksana Bayul.
Oksana Bayul.
Oh.
She,
She
always
was
wore fur.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always had like pink fur.
Yeah,
and
and
she's
stuff
so
like
Fur
that.
fine.
was like
I
such a
loved
big deal
Oksana
throughout that
Bayul.
movie. It's like I
Oksana
skate, so
Bayul.
I wear furs. I don't know.
She was
It's weird.
so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oksana Bayul.
So that was interesting, and then I watched the movie, learned so much. I don't know if it's real or not.
Like
'cause I didn't-
Tanya Harding was
Margot
white
Robbie's
trash.
rated it.
yeah.
There's a TV movie that's the Nancy Kerrigan story, and it stars Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, wow.
Heather Lock.
We talked about that when
Heather
we did the
Langenkamp.
movie.
Langenkamp, yes, because Heather Langenkamp looks like Nancy Kerrigan
Yeah.
back then. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I didn't know they made a show of it. How are you gonna make a show of that? Just like her life afterwards?
No, it's just a TV movie. It's just a TV.
Oh,
It's a
They,
TV
you know, they made
like,
TV
they made
I
a
movies.
thought you
TV
were talking about like a TV show.
No,
the way
they
that
made
it
they did a
sounded to me.
TV movie like it happened like, and then like 6 months later the movie's out.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So the other scandal that happened in 1994, Aaliyah was 15 years old when she married R. Kelly on
Yeah.
August 31st of 1994. He was 28 and she was 16 when their marriage was annulled in February of the
I
following
forgot
year.
he had married
Yeah.
And the
Aaliyah.
story gets worse
Yeah.
from
Oh,
there.
it does.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
like-
just goes downhill.
That is madness.
Well, then of course, because Aaliyah dies in the car crash, in the plane
Plane
crash.
crash.
Plane crash like 3 years later, or 4 years later.
Holy shit.
And
She
then,
was so pretty.
and then R. Kelly is R. Kelly, and so
Did he go and pee on her afterwards? Is
probably
he the peer?
probably yeah, he's the peer. He's in jail
Okay.
now. He's
Yeah.
yeah.
he just got sentenced to like 30
Yeah.
years.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your R. Kelly facts.
Yeah, she ended up dying in 2001.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it was later. So
Yeah, it was
still
during
very
making Queen of the Damned.
Yep. She didn't get to finish
Oh,
Queen of the Damned.
man. That reminded me, not all of that, but the marriage reminded me a lot of my brother Kyle. He lives in Washington right now. We listen to a lot of stuff that's probably really stupid, but Dane Cook is one of our favorite comedians. So every time I hear Dane Cook, it reminds me of Kyle. It's really sweet. Dane Cook just got engaged. So listen to this. So Dane Cook,
Yeah, I heard
50,
that.
which I read 50 and I was
He's
like,
50 now?
Yeah.
it hurt my soul when I read
Okay.
that. I was like, because we listened to him when Kyle was in high school, and he's now like divorced already, has a kid, like he's a grown adult. It's weird.
I didn't
so-
know Kyle was divorced.
Yeah, it was messy. Anyway,
When is it not with your family?
so it said 50, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't handle that. And then it said, got engaged to his girlfriend of 5 years, who is 24.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Well, I mean, 19.
No. No, it had to be 23 because
That'd be 18, so it's gonna be younger.
she was 18 when they
Yeah.
got
I
together.
mean, that's legal.
legal.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's
So he was
Creepy, but legal.
45,
it's also fishy because it's
and
like
she
how long
was
did you know?
18.
It becomes
Right.
fishy because how long did you know them before you started dating?
Well, that's
Right.
like a teacher who
That's-
dates a 19-year-old but taught them in 10th grade.
That's like
like
having a
that
best friend
situation.
and being
Yeah.
like, "Hey, your daughter's hot." Anyway, I still like Dane Cook, but that's what that made me think of.
Dane Cook.
Speaking of marriages, brief celebrity marriages of 1994.
Brief.
We have Michael Jackson, who married.
Lisa Marie Presley.
That is correct. And Richard Gere, who married.
His
A
gerbil.
Oh, great minds! Great minds.
That,
We have a
that joke stinks.
Can we
Oh,
get
God.
Can we get an adult, please? We need an adult to the Mobcast studio.
Do I
We
need to
an
remind you
adult.
about the
7 years
gerbil?
old.
No, you do not have to remind me. I need 2 adults now.
That
We need
South
2.
Park is
One
one
will
of my
not be
favorites.
enough. We need another one.
Oh, God.
Anyway, before the gerbil, he married.
I don't know. I have no
I
clue.
have no idea who he was married to.
Oh, fun! I love it when I stump him.
Yep.
That's one of my favorites.
After the gerbil, that's all we can remember.
I want
about
to say Julia
Richard
Roberts,
Gere.
but no, she married All Love It.
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford.
Oh,
Cindy
that's
Crawford.
right. That's right. He was married to Cindy
Oh,
Crawford for a minute.
Okay. Now, in a much sadder turn of events, besides the gerbil, the deaths of 1994.
Besides the
From
gerbil.
rock and roll, we had
So who dies in old artist or new artist?
94 is a really long time
Cobain.
ago, Jestina.
Yes. I was like, I don't know if it's an old or a new artist,
Cobain.
but it was Kurt Cobain due to suicide.
There you go.
Serial killer
Allegedly.
that died
A serial killer?
in prison.
Richard Ramirez.
No, maybe I don't know when he died. He
Um,
could
The
have
Night,
also.
the Night Stalker?
It was.
Oh,
It's not Gacy.
No, you know
No.
his name. Like
I
It's not-
just
It's not Dahmer.
it's Dahmer.
Is
It's
it
Jeffrey
Dahmer?
Dahmer.
Dahmer
Yeah.
I thought
died in
Dahmer was
'94.
I thought it was 96.
He was
Wow, I
sentenced to
thought
death.
I thought it was later
I thought it was
too.
96.
I just looked it up. Gacy also did die in '94.
Thank
Hey,
you. That's
look
what I was like. I'm not gonna say no because possibly I don't know. I don't have it written down. And a beloved comedian in '94.
Sam Kinison.
Maybe I don't know.
John Candy.
That is correct.
John
Broke my
Candy.
heart.
Yeah.
Look up Kinison. Is it 94 or 93? Maybe 92. I should have known when I said
You know, the
beloved.
week
He's not
before
very. I
John
mean,
Candy
he's.
died, told
I
my
love him,
mom,
but
I loved
Easily
listening
pleased
to
and
him, but he
overcome.
was. I mean,
He's a screamer.
I'm
He
serious, like,
was.
he was my most beloved. In
He's
4th
angry.
grade, John Candy was my all.
What's your favorite John
I
Candy
don't.
movie?
I don't see him on the Deaths of 1994, but I see Bill Hicks,
Oh, that's right. Hicks dies.
Oh, R.I.P. to Bill Hicks. Way ahead
Martha
of his time.
Martha Ray.
Bill
and John
Hicks' death
Candy.
gives Dennis Leary a career.
You're absolutely right.
Because No Cure for Cancer is brilliant, but it's also all Bill Hicks' material.
Yeah.
All right, so there's one more death we're going to review, and I'm going to give you the details of who it is, and I'm sure as soon as I say a couple words, Scotty's going to say who it is.
Do you want me to go ahead and say it, or are you going to wait?
Go ahead.
No, just when you wait.
Oh, no, you can go ahead and
Then
say
you
it.
should let one of us pick.
Yeah,
Try
why don't
to
you just
choose.
pipe on down, let somebody else pick.
Yes, ma'am. I'll pipe on down.
I'm going to give you a couple hints.
Okay.
They were shot. It was a fan.
John Kennedy. I mean,
Well,
John
I know this
Lennon.
one.
John Lennon got shot by a fan.
And 81.
It's not John
That
Lennon.
was in
yes.
81. Okay.
Salinas.
Keep going. Oh, Selena Gomez?
No.
No.
Versace.
That's
No.
Selena Gomez.
Oh,
The other
I
Selena.
just watched
that movie
The-
the
Isn't
other
that
day.
her name?
The other Selena.
I don't know.
Not that one. It was
Selena.
Gucci or something.
Salinas.
Selena.
Whatever.
This,
Whoever.
okay, so let me back it
That's
up. 'Cause this
terrible,
death
isn't it?
may not have happened in 94, but in 1994, I'm so sorry. I had to get to the end of it. It created the Driver's Privacy Protection Act.
Oh, Princess Di.
No.
Oh.
It was a 21-year-old actress
Actress killed by a fan.
at her front door.
Rebecca Schaefer.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what year. She may not have died in 94.
She died in 88.
Who's
Okay.
Rebecca Schaefer?
She
So-
was My Sister Sam.
Yeah.
On that CBS show, My Sister Sam.
So a
Young
fan
okay, I was
She
saying,
was-
I
got her
I don't
address.
even know what that is.
She was going to be the next big thing, and then a fan tracked her down,
shot
murdered
her
her
in
in
her
her
front
front
door.
door.
That's
and then
terrible.
Yeah, there's a show on ID about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
My
created
Sister
calls
Sam.
for the nation's first anti-stalking laws
Yep.
in 1990. So my apologies for misleading you. And in 1994 is when the Driver's Privacy Protection Act made it illegal to release people's private addresses.
Ah.
So
Okay.
her death did spur some good action. Not
That's
that
good.
anybody wants to die.
Hers
but
was big, and then the other one was I think 4 years earlier, it was the older teenage girl from Poltergeist. She's
Yeah.
She's strangled by her boyfriend while they're rehearsing for. She was supposed to be in V, and her boyfriend strangles her to the point she puts in a coma and she dies like a week later.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
oh man.
There's an ID show about that one too, or maybe it's in the Eli Roth.
They're probably all the.
Anyway,
I just want to say from the years of 92 to 95, I watched a lot of anime and whatever was on the military broadcast
so
TV
next time we're in those years, find an anime
programming.
question for her, see if she
Because
knows
I was
it.
in
It'd be funny.
Japan.
and she's gonna be like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Absolutely.
It's
And
gonna
then-
be fantastic. I
be
got
brilliant.
it. I'll
And
take
then,
care of you.
Got you. Thank you.
And then Nicole Brown Simpson was murdered this year, but the trial wasn't until 95.
Okay.
Ah.
Thank you, sir. All right, so a couple more. Who canceled their 1994 summer tour after they found out Ticketmaster was demanding a service charge for fans' tickets?
Pearl Jam.
That is correct.
I bought tickets to see them at Tad Gormley Stadium the following year, and that was a shit show. But I got to see the Ramones.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Saw the Ramones in Pearl Jam
Nice.
first
I like
time.
how
Nice.
everybody just laid back on that because
Yeah.
we just knew.
We
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
just
Experts about to swing on that.
turned.
I'm just like I'm a fan.
even
We-
did a little dance.
Funny, John and I just did a Pearl Jam segment actually for one of the other shows.
Nice.
So
Yeah, it's
All right.
crazy.
it's been thematic today.
Yep.
Just
I
keep
told
on
the story
keeping
of
on.
Jeremy.
It has an even flow.
So
And what do you believe to be the cost of a Super Bowl ad in 1994?
$900,000.
All right, so it was $900,000. So before everybody has to randomly guess, he
Was
got
it
it right.
really?
Yes.
Really?
Wow.
I was like, I may as well just stop it there because
Scotty's on
Wow.
Oh,
Right?
Wow.
booyah!
for the final fun fact, before we get to our popular video game, I saved this for last, and I will tell you why in a minute. The Beastie Boys coined the term mullet in 1994 to refer to a hairstyle in their song Mullet Head. No earlier use of the term mullet that refers to a hairstyle has been found. So they coined, that's what I found in my facts. Be sure to look it up, obviously.
Before that, it was just a shag.
It was just
I
a
don't know
business
if that's
cut.
what it was called.
And then you turned around
For
and
the
it was a party
guys
cut.
Oh, for a
especially.
guy.
So it just depended
You know,
on the
them
angle.
like the big old.
I'll call my dad. He had a big curly mullet in the 70s. It was giant.
So I found this to be very fascinating, and I saved it for last because I do CrossFit, and the CrossFit Games have been going on this last week, and I was watching them before I came with my gym, and the guy that won the strongest man for this year has a mullet, so I kept calling him mullet guy. I was like, oh, look at the mullet guy go. It's like Meddeer or something is his name, but I called him mullet guy the whole time, so I thought that was a fun little
Mullets are back though.
They're awful.
add-on.
Drive
don't-
through my kids' school
No,
parking
they
lot,
are.
They're
everywhere.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
see them, and it's like, why?
Well, mullets
The clothes are back,
way
too,
better
so-
than the rat tail.
That's
Oh, the
Yeah.
rat
That is
tail.
true.
I
That's
will take
true.
over
But the
different-
mullets are back, and the
Unless you're a
weird shaped
Padawan.
pants
No.
are back. And
Not even a
it's-
rat tail.
oh,
That's in the
gosh.
front. So.
Yeah.
Either way, well, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just positioned differently.
But
Jordan
then it's not a
Knight
rat
from New
tail.
Kids on the Block had a nice rat tail, and his Barbie had a rat tail.
Yeah, I remember the barber had them.
So it's funny that came up because mullets are back, and I was actually debating with my family. We have a mini schnauzer. Caleb, if you can get in good on a shot.
Oh,
on
yeah.
that.
Or you can just.
You
That's
could
what I
always
want to
send-
do
you
to
could
my
always-
mini
Freaking
schnauzer.
Yeah, you can always
is
send it to
give
Scotty.
her
Yeah, you can send
the
me out.
dog mullet.
Stop.
Please do it.
Come on.
Yeah, send
Please
me
do
an
it,
email.
and
I'll
then
put
send
it
us a
in the chat.
picture once you've completed
I
that
think
as
that's
well.
What's
worth
her
it.
name?
Jasmine.
It'll grow back
I
out.
think she would love it.
Jasmine will kill it. Okay,
Yeah.
listen.
Other names for mullets.
Douche canoe. The guy appeared to be a douche, so
Most guys that have a mullet are douches.
you're welcome.
All right, we'll take that one.
Just gonna go into the
My
salon.
favorite is ape drape,
I've never heard of that.
hockey hair.
I mean, I get all those,
Yeah.
but
There's a great song by the Vandals on the album Hitler Good, Vandals Good, Hitler Bad. And it's a punk song called I Got an Ape Drape. And it's all about the mullet. And it's all these names for a mullet.
That's cool.
So
All right, so to conclude the fun facts segment, what was the most popular video game in 1994?
I don't think I'm allowed to compete.
1994, Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's what I would say.
Or Mario.
one of the Final Fantasy games.
Or GoldenEye. On the N64.
Well,
PlayStation had just come out.
yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 or some shit.
7 wasn't out yet.
yes,
It wasn't? Okay, then
Or Mortal Kombat.
the one before that.
6 wasn't popular in
See,
the
Mortal
U.S.
Kombat's earlier.
Diablo.
So it would be
I'm just
more,
naming off
Just
video.
naming games.
Naming awful games.
That's how I play the game.
it would be
so
Mortal
it's fine.
Kombat 2, but I don't think it's the biggest one because Mortal Kombat 2's out at
Right.
94.
What about Street Fighter 2?
Street Fighter 2 is older than that.
GoldenEye was huge back then, though.
Yeah, but it's older than that though.
Capcom versus Marvel.
Later.
Okay.
Should I go ahead and give a guess?
Yes.
Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country was.
Ooh.
Donkey
DKC
Kong Country was.
DKC.
Wow.
Yeah.
At
Caleb
its
off the top
core,
rope.
Donkey Kong Country is pretty simple.
I
There
love-
are 40 side-scrolling levels
Yep.
where Donkey Kong and his nephew Diddy Kong are
Diddy.
trying to get back their stolen bananas.
Nanners.
But it wasn't the tightness of the platforming combined combined with the ability of the game to continuously switch up what the player had to do to get to the end of each level that made Donkey Kong Country part of the great canon of video games.
Didn't you have to go through a mine?
Yeah, yeah.
One of them in a cart
Yep.
you had to jump
Yeah.
out of.
Yeah,
I
that-
love
yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Didn't
It's
Real
one of
do
my
that one?
favorite games. Say what?
Real Studios didn't Real do that one?
That one was Rare.
Rare. I knew it
Yeah.
was starting with R.
Yeah, Rare, because Rare did almost all the Donkey Kong games until Microsoft bought Rare.
I love the Donkey Kong games. Donkey Kong, Zelda, and Mario. Those are my jam. Those were my jam. And that concludes the fun facts.
Fun facts, fun facts.
Brothers and sisters, gather round. Meet Dante.
He's not supposed to be.
Hi,
here.
Dante.
He gets called into
supposed to be here today.
he gets called into work at the local convenience store, the Quick Stop, when he just closed the night before, and he's got a street hockey game at 2.
Why is he sleeping in his closet though?
I don't know.
Same question.
He first balks at the idea and relents to opening the store. He goes in, does the morning routine of getting the store opened, finds out the security shutters are jammed with gum, forcing Dante to make a makeshift sign out of a sheet and shoe polish that says, "I assure you, we're open."
Bunch of savages in that town.
Yeah.
Savages. Outside, we meet drug dealers Jay and Silent Bob as they peddle their wares and just loiter outside the Quick Stop and the neighboring video store. Jay's a character filled with quips and banter with his partner, as his namesake says nothing. We also meet Jay's cousin Olaf, a Russian metal singer, head to the big city to make it big. Berserker! I love that scene. Dante is assaulted by cigarette smokers after a Chuli's gum salesman raises a mob against a so-called merchant of death. The mob is dispersed by Dante's girlfriend Veronica, a college student who really wants Dante to go back into school. The two talk, and eventually comes out that she's had fellatio with 37 men, including Dante, but she's only had sex with 3. And Dante can't wrap his head around the idea of 37 cocks, and so she leaves upset.
I like that was the point that he couldn't understand, but not the snowballing.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll let that one go.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it.
Not the
We'll
snowball,
We'll get there.
but it's-
We'll circle
Right.
back in a minute.
Right.
Enter Randall, the clerk of the video store and Dante's best friend. He's a wisecracking slacker who has nothing but contempt for his job and the customers. The days are filled with bizarre customers and odd conversations that generally go on in the two stores. Dante finds out the owner has left for Vermont, and Dante now has to close the store, which will ruin the hockey game unless Dante and Randall close the store and play hockey on the roof. Customers want things inside but have to wait, and after some heckling from a customer, they let him play, which causes him to knock the ball off the roof and into a gutter. Turns out they only had one ball, so the game ends after just 12 minutes. Dante helps a man who needs to go to the restroom, gives him a porno mag to read. Dante finds out his ex-girlfriend, Caitlin Bree, is getting married, and that worries him. He thought he had a thing going with Caitlin, but she cheated on him all the freaking time. He reveals he's been talking to her for the last few months, and while she's at college, he also finds out that another ex has died, and the wake is later today. So Randall and Dante close the store to go to the funeral home, where Randall accidentally knocks over the casket, and they make a quick exit. Enter Caitlin, who's back from college, and here to surprise Dante. She swears the whole engagement thing was her mom overreacting. They plan to meet after, and she talks to her mom, and she heads out. Leaving Dante in a good mood, he puts Randall in charge while he goes and gets ready. Caitlin returns, chats with Randall, and then she goes to the bathroom. Dante returns sometime later and is dressed, but they still haven't seen Caitlin. She then comes out of the bathroom, all excited after having sex with Dante. But the room was dark, and it turns out it was the old guy with the porno mag from earlier who had died. And that leaves Caitlin catatonic and off in an ambulance. Dante wallows in self-pity, and Randall goes back to the video store, tells Veronica that Dante wants to break up with her. She confronts Dante at the quick start. This leads to a fight between Randall and Dante that trashes the candy aisle in the shop. They make up, clean up the store, and now Dante is going to visit Caitlin in the hospital and try to patch things up with Veronica. Randall walks out, tossing the sheep to Dante, telling him he's now closed. Credits. Discussion!
What a movie.
Oddly,
Okay.
Ground Zero closed for the exact same reason. You know, dead guy in the bathroom.
Stop it.
Isn't that right, Scotty?
No comment. Cannot confirm nor deny.
Jestina, first time ever watching it. I want to know what your thoughts were with the black and white, and like, what did you think of everything?
Ask me what you asked when you
Yeah.
sat down.
So
Ask
first I walked in and I was like, your guys' version was in black and white too, right? And Scotty was like, it is in black and white. I was like, I just wanted to make sure I didn't buy like a re-release where it was, because it was neat how it was black and white.
That's hilarious.
But in
you didn't-
'94, it wasn't. Movies weren't black and white
Hey,
anymore.
Are
so-
you guys still? Are you guys seeing black and white like I am? I'm just.
I need
checking.
y'all to
My
know that
machine broken.
every
Yeah, I
time
read
I
the wrong
find a
one.
movie, I know I'm gonna watch the wrong one. It hasn't happened yet, but there's gonna be a moment where I come in with fun facts from the wrong year because I get the year based off the movie, and you're gonna be like 1989s, and I'm gonna be over here with 1999 facts and be like, well, something has been.
Why is this
Miss.
movie all in Swahili?
And
Is
it's
that kinda
gonna be a
weird
Star
international
Trek
version?
movie because he picks those out of
Walking
order.
across the screen.
That's what's
It's
gonna happen.
fun.
So I did inquire about that. I do think the black and white added edge to it, so I think it was a good call. Whether it was a re-release or original doesn't matter, but I did ask. The movie in general made me really anxious because everything that happened to him, like I'm a very pleasing person, so I will go out of my way for other people, not so far as to hand them a porno magazine or let them get a new thing of toilet paper when there's toilet paper, but I'd be like, yeah, you can use the bathroom, or yeah, I'll come in.
You're accommodating.
To a fault, yes. So I felt that, and I had a hard time with it in general. I was a little disappointed that Silent Bob spoke. Like he talked and walked away, and I was like,
He does in every movie. He usually has one line,
Yeah.
one big line, and
your
it's
name
always
is Silent.
and it's
Something relevant
always
to the
profound.
point
Not
of the
single
movie.
line.
Yeah.
It's,
It's
always
silent.
poignant. It's always
yeah, it's
perfect.
like this profound. He has this profound statement in every movie.
Because you think he's just this burner that's hanging out outside, and then he always says something that you're like,
Have you guys seen Phineas and Phineas and Ferb?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Which
Ferb.
one of those?
It's Ferb does it.
That's what that
Yeah.
reminded me of. Is Ferb never talks, and then when he does, it's like very eloquent and
yeah.
sophisticated. And
Ferb is the silent Bob
Yes.
of that
The
relationship.
influence of Kevin Smith.
that is interesting.
Pop culture.
So when he spoke, I was like, "You crushed it, man! Like I thought I had you up here, and now you spoke, and now you're here. You're supposed to be silent." But other than that, it was
wasn't
okay.
mute, Bob.
It just the antics that
Deaf and
happened
dumb
made me
Bob.
very, very anxious.
It was wild for me seeing all the prices again. Like the prices of cigarettes.
Oh, when
being
they're like
$1.34
cents
and
or
yeah, he gets a paper and he's like what 55 or 35, whatever the
Right.
cost was, and seeing the prices in the store blew me away. I guess 94. I don't remember cigarettes ever. And then this one guy, I don't know if you noticed in the scene where the guy's like, I spend $70 a week on cigarettes. Homeboy, they are $1.34. How many
much are you
cigarettes are you
smoking?
smoking?
Yeah,
Right.
that's a lot.
Crazy.
It was really neat to rewatch this. Of course, I've seen it a gazillion times, and there's certain things you don't pay attention to. And one thing that really struck me is they talk about how old they are. They're 22, and I was thinking, I'm like, shit, I was 22 in '94, so I was in the same kind of place in my life, kind of where they were, and
that's interesting.
it
You
all.
think that's why you're so connected to it?
Probably.
Maybe?
I think that's
Very
a
much
lot of
so.
it. A lot of its success is, that movie is absolutely targeted to people of a certain era, a Gen X crew,
Right.
and we were working those jobs. We were clerks in
We were.
Video
gas
store,
stations
yeah.
and video stores and delivering pizzas, and we
And-
were being abused by terrible customers, and
Right.
it just
And
it
it was
really
It's some-
sank it home for
it's
us in a way
something
that
that-
other movies never had.
And
It's
it was that
something that
whole
works
struggle.
today. It's something that works today because
Yeah.
people still deal with that while working like restaurant jobs, or they still would deal with those type of people.
Oh yeah,
And so
we just call them Karens.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
and now people are more willing to say no to like. If somebody was in Dante's position, they would just say, "Nope, I'm not going to work. Hang up."
Some people, I feel like Jestina in this, that I'm accommodating and I want to make sure people are taken care of. So I would be a Dante in that moment. I'd
We're
be like,
also a
"All
little
right,
bit
I'm not even
older
supposed
and
to be
more
here,
The
but
rest of us
Sure.
would be Randalls.
Yeah.
I don't think that the generation now, the 22-year-olds that we have now, for the most part, are accommodating. I mean, a lot of them, you're lucky if you get them to show up to work.
Yeah, if you look at that
I mean, at all.
spectrum, on one end being Randall, who will spit in a customer's
Right.
face,
Yeah.
and the other being Dante, who will do anything to a fault to, because that's what
Provide
he's
a
supposed
porno
to do.
magazine.
If that line was here in 1994,
Right.
it's definitely moved into
Right.
more into Randall
Randall's,
territory these days.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Was Randall the doctor from Scrubs?
No.
No.
Doesn't
That's
he
Zach
seem
Braff.
like the doctor that was mean to
No.
what's his face in Scrubs?
No, that guy's way
He's
better.
older.
But I mean, like, if
He's
you're thinking
hilarious.
about him as a kid though, acting, every time he spoke, I was like, you sound like that doctor that was mean to what's his face in Scrubs.
I love that guy. What's
That
his
doctor
name?
John C.
that
McGinley.
That's
guy.
John C.
Yeah.
McGinley. Yeah,
Oh, Johnson McGinley.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
him.
Johnson
Which-
McGinley was.
He was great in
great.
Scrubs.
yeah.
He's
He's also a reason to watch Highlander 2.
he's also wonderful in Platoon.
Yeah, he's great.
I don't know. I wanted to ask that because I thought it might have been the same person.
Mm-mm.
Has Randall done anything else?
Yeah, he's done a few things, mostly
Yeah.
Kevin Smith stuff, and he's directed a few things
Yeah.
on his own.
The character Randall's just a dick, though. I mean,
Oh,
just
But
Yeah.
I
very
love
much.
him. I love him. He is a dick, but I love him. I don't know what it is. It's in Clerks for sure, but in Clerks too. I don't know that I've laughed as hard at a character than I have at Randall throughout the years.
Because Dante is who most of us are,
Right.
Right.
But Randall
but
is
Randall's
like,
who we wish we could be.
Yeah, Randall's
like
from.
I
He's
wish
wish
I could do
fulfillment.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, wish
Sometimes.
we could be every once in a while. I
Right.
wouldn't want to be that. So, Randall is very, very important, and he compliments Dante
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
they are opposites. But Randall's not somebody I'd ever want to hang out with because I would probably choke the shit out of him.
But don't you feel like we all have that one Randall though in our life? Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
felt like our friend group had that Randall, and we all just knew he was like that.
I'm,
you know?
I'm probably that person in our group. Am I
If
that
you can't
person?
think of one, then
comment.
you're
I was
the
just saying,
Randall.
I'm probably that person in
We
our
cannot confirm
Or
or
deny.
deny.
group. I know. Maybe that's why I don't like him. There's too much truth.
It's kind of like I'm the Dante and Scotty is the middle line. And then Stephanie's on that side.
But I'm
That's
not.
actually a
But
great
I'm not
breakdown
like
of
the
the three of
complete
you, yeah.
Randall. I mean, I'm accommodating too.
Yeah.
But I'm just less so. Like I will only put up with so much bullshit before I'm like, we'll go off on somebody.
Well, even Dante has a line before he'll go off. So
That's true.
everybody has that line.
Everybody has a point. Yeah.
So this is the first time I've watched it in a while. I watched it I watched 1 and 2 over the pandemic, but kind of like in the background. So first time I think since I've had education, like film school, and watched it. And so I watched it with a critical eye, and the first thing I can say is that this movie should not work.
Absolutely right.
There's it's not very well acted.
It's not.
The plot's very loose.
It is.
It's not shot very well
No,
either.
the cinematography
No, the
is
shot
obviously
It's
not
garbage.
good.
Yeah.
Every extra is laughing or smiling
Right.
in
Yeah.
every
So
scene.
They didn't even have enough extras as Walt Flanagan
plays like three parts,
Right.
parts of
Yeah.
it. And that being said, because of all that, this thing is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I tell you why it's brilliant, because it's almost a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I viewed
A
it
day
when
in
I
the
watched
life.
Almost a document, a day in life, but it's
Because it's a slice of life film.
it is right. It's a slice of life, but the way like there's nobody in there except two people who had film experience in the movie. The two actors, and their both credits were like B horror film stuff, like Screamer #3 kind of. So no one's had real experience. So
Right.
everybody's friends and
Mhm.
families kind of thing. And having made those movies, and I'm proud of all those short films I've done, but you've worked with certain people, right? Like Jason Mewes is so green because it's his
Oh,
first
yeah.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, he's a baby.
Which one's
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Jay.
Mhm.
Jay.
Thank you.
So
He's a baby.
the killer thing about that is that he's not acting. He's like, you believe that's him.
Yeah.
You absolutely believe him. That's him.
But-
and that's what makes it so brilliant. It
Yeah.
was fascinating to watch it with the critic going like, this kind of looks like garbage, but it's amazing.
And I think that's a tribute to the fact that words matter.
Absolutely.
That dialogue entirely
this-
carries
Absolutely.
the whole movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the script carries that movie.
You don't
Yeah.
need anything else.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you talk about your films that you've done your short films, and I think one of the things that immediately made me feel a connection to you was has to do with these films because right after, you guys may not know this, but right after I met Scotty and
Like 5 minutes after.
like 5, he's like, "Hey, you want to be in one of my films?"
You want to be in a movie?
And I said, "Sure." Didn't ask what it was. Didn't ask what I'd be doing.
Shit.
It's like whatever, and it's been that way ever since. And that's what
Yeah,
I
she is
love.
willing and able. It's great.
Yeah, but that's what I love about it is because you do these little films, and it's what you're passionate about, whether whatever they are, and you cast your friends, and we all, and it's that's what I see with Kevin Smith.
And the first one we did was really good.
and
It was
Absolutely.
woo.
we was great. There's a couple of them that have been really good.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm proud of all the work, but it's
I
just
think
like,
so,
but it's
but-
like, but
But
like,
that's not the point. It's like you have this connection,
Mhm.
and I thought it was great.
Do you think he went into it with, I got to document this shit? Like, he's working there. I read that he was working while they shot the movie.
Yeah, that's
he
the
was
reason why I have the
working every day
location.
from like 6 a.m. to 10 or whatever, and then they'd shoot in the middle of the night.
yeah, you take a little nap and then you come back
Do you
and shoot.
think he just got to a point where he was like, we got to document this shit? And he just, like, it struck something, I have to write this.
Maybe. I mean, he was in film school briefly. I mean, this is
Like
something,
6 months in
yeah,
Canada
this is,
that's how I met Scott Mosier.
right. This is
producer.
something that he wanted to do was do film,
Yeah.
and I probably saw that this would be great.
Yeah,
That was
like, it's that
pointed at the
compelling.
time. This, people need to see. This is everyday stuff,
I
and
think
it's
Kevin
funny.
got a lot of Paul McCartney in that, write what you know.
Mhm.
And like he will himself say, everything that's in my movies is something my friends said, some funny thing that happened to us, or something that led us to brainstorm up that. But that it all came from his friends
From
and his
life.
family
I think it's better.
and his life.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
His better films are of that. So Clerks
Yeah.
and Chasing Amy.
Oh,
and,
Yes.
and what else?
I
was
love
it?
Jersey Girl.
Yeah, Jersey Girl, but that didn't
Yeah.
I
happen in
know.
his life. But it's good.
Right.
But, I mean,
right.
I like.
no, it didn't happen in his life.
I mean, I
but
like Clerks too, but he never worked as a fast food guy. It just
Right.
like Clerks 3 literally is about his heart attack and him making clerks.
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And that's the plot. And so,
Mallrats.
Yeah,
Mallrats. He
Mallrats.
grew up as
Oh.
yeah.
Mallrats is
Yeah.
great.
One of my favorites.
The one he's working on
Mine
now
too.
is his time as a kid skipping from movie theater to movie theater. Theater hopping. He just bought a movie theater just last week.
Nice.
So so
Yeah.
he's just he's doing lots of stuff. Favorite scenes?
Where do you start?
Yeah, I know. It's
Where we want
like
to.
That's tough.
I mean, for me the classic scene, since I'm a Star Wars guy, is the Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
discussion.
the conversation.
Like that's just classic to me. That's like Clerks.
Yeah. The Death Star contractors.
Mm.
I mean,
But my favorite part of they bring in the other guy.
Yeah,
who's
the
like,
actual
It's like my cousin, I
contractor
just passed up to my cousin, and well, you know, it didn't.
to my best friend, to my friend, and
No,
now
my
he's
friend,
dead.
yeah. No, you know,
It's
would've
like,
been me if I didn't take that job.
and it's like, if that was your friend, why did you lead him to that job? You know that.
I mean, I like so many. I guess the
pick
thing
one.
that that I probably giggled the most over is the whole 37 Dicks conversation.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was hilarious
My-
because the way that she was like, it's no big deal. It's, you
Like,
know,
I
it's
sleep with
whatever.
them, yeah.
well, and I think so many of us grew up in that era. Being Gen Xers,
Mm-hmm.
that the generation before us didn't talk like that.
No.
They didn't talk about that quite so much privately. Definitely not in their films and television shows.
Right.
No.
And so for this, it was kind of like, hang on, this is the first time I'm seeing people like me on the screen. This was representation for a bunch of potty-mouthed little
Yeah.
turds
Yeah.
Pretty
that
much.
we were, and it represented us.
And-
And so those were the type of conversations we had in
They
the
don't even
parking
look
lot
like-
after school at high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
They
in,
don't just
in
look
my
like
era.
me, they sound like me.
Even
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even before then, like that's not the type of conversations people had with their significant others usually.
Right.
Like that,
My favorite parts of that 37 dick things is the she sucked 37 dicks in a row.
In a row.
yeah, in a row.
And then as she's leaving, you try not to suck any dicks on your
And
way
then the
out.
guy-
and the guy
The
just,
parking lot.
just leaving. Can't get back here. That's funny.
It's like
to me.
county
That's-
Yeah.
Shit, it's a good time joke.
It's hard
Yeah.
to pick a favorite scene.
Yeah. Well, I also love when they come to the culmination and Dante and Randall are fighting and the trash in the candy aisle and everything, because a lot of it as well, depending upon your age and what you were doing at that point in your life, a lot of us were kind of going through that point of, am I a Dante or am I a Randall?
Mhm.
And coming to that fight within yourself of, am I gonna grow up or
Yeah.
am I just gonna keep doing what I enjoy and consequences be damned?
Just be a cynical
know?
dick.
So I really loved that interplay between the two
Yeah.
of them.
My favorite scene is the Olaf scene. I fucking love Berserker. Berserker cracks
Yeah.
me up.
That was great.
Because like, he's my cousin. He's just
Bleachings.
like,
That
I
was my
also
least favorite. scene.
Olaf,
the one where he's-
Olaf metal.
When
No,
he's
girl thinks sexy.
yeah. And the girl
Radovka.
did he just say make fuck?
Say making fuck.
I also kind of like the scene where this woman wants him to order a movie for her.
That is
Yes.
where I was
And
going.
he's
like,
Happy
he goes
gr-
through like 30 of them before he
Happy
gets
But they're all
Scrappy
porn
Power
movies.
Puff.
Yeah.
They're all
Porn.
porn movies.
Happy Scrappy Hero
Hero
Pups.
Pups.
That one got me pretty good rewatching it.
Or before he even opens, the girl's like, "Yeah, I've been waiting 30
Yeah.
minutes for this film, and like, bet you $20 I'll get it."
You're not going to get that movie.
Also, the scene where the lady comes in and she's trying to ask about the movie, and Randall's sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
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 And she's like, "What about this one?" And he goes, I don't know. She goes, what did you know? And he goes,
They both suck.
"Oh, that one's terrible." Yeah. And she's like, "Well, I was just asking." And he goes, "Something. I forget how it goes.
I don't appreciate your
I don't
ruse.
appreciate your cunning attempt
I don't
to
appreciate-
trick me.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I don't
feel good
appreciate
to
your
point out the
ruse.
shortcomings of others.
Yeah.
Like Randall was trolling before.
Yeah.
Before
Trolling
trolling
was
had
a
a
thing.
term, yeah.
Right. Randall Graves, first internet troll.
How
I
about
did
you?
pick up this time in Dante, in the beginning, is painting her fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
And in Clerks 2, which you'll get to,
Right.
he paints toenails.
She paints
Yeah.
And I was like, look at that. Dante is all about his ladies.
Isn't he sweet?
Yeah.
The many that there are.
Yeah.
I don't have a specific scene that was my favorite, but the thing I loved the most about the movie is that something really uncomfortable happens, and then it cuts to him pricing something and working. Like it did that every time. There'd be some sort of climax of some sort of instance. He went and played hockey, and then the next thing he's pricing something and stocking something and filling the cigarettes. Like, so the idea is, yeah, sure, this happened, this fire happened, but guess what? People are gonna want more cigarettes,
Yeah.
so
It
we
goes
gotta
on.
stock. Like, that was my favorite part. Is anytime that came up, because that was what I enjoyed this movie much more than I thought I was going to, simply because, like, I think for the same reason that you said, is it shouldn't work.
Nope.
Like, there were so many times where I was like, that was terribly shot. That scene looked terrible, or the camera moved, or like something that catches your eye. But then it felt so much like the documentaries that are kind of a thing now.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, with the way that people dress and the way that everything's happening now with our next generation, that movie probably is super relevant to like my children, which is really weird for me, but it's fine. My oldest child, let's not say children, okay? The 6-year-old better not resonate with it. It's fine. But it's just that idea of like everything that was in it. It really did kind of document the day. And there was, so I guess there is one scene, because came up when he was talking to Randall, where he was talking about his stories. And he was like, oh, you think that's bad? And he tells stories, and they were comparing stories. And to get back to your point, I do think that's probably what inspired this film, is somebody being like, you want to hear what I go through? And it's like, what you go through, listen to what I go through. And they're like, dude, this should be a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like, how many times
and they
in
did
life
all
do you
those
say that?
antics.
This shit should be a movie.
Like the
Right.
guy going
Yeah.
through to find the eggs, like, or the milkmaids.
Yeah.
Like
the
all that
milkmaid.
stuff where it's like the weirdest shit you wouldn't think the people would do, and then you're like, it doesn't.
I'm a
when you
milkmaid.
open it,
I will look for the.
you get it. You get 7 days after it opens. It doesn't matter when it goes bad. As soon as you open it, you get 7 days, and then it's
Yeah.
gone. It doesn't matter.
Milk is like the ring.
Yeah.
This gallon of milk will not go bad until 3073.
But it's
You're
I mean,
opening it up, you
to
get a phone
add to-
call.
to
Your
add
milk will expire in 7
Yeah.
days.
to add to your point, it's whenever he'd cut back to just the daily operations, it's the monotony of working a day job.
Like, it doesn't matter what the weirdest thing happens. You still have to do that. You still have to do this, or your boss might not be coming in. This still has to get done, or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
I think
You're-
we can all think of things like that, though, in our day-to-day, that something wild happens, and it's not so wild to you because it happens so frequently.
Mhm.
And then
Like
you
working
still
in
do the
radio.
dishes.
And then you just got to move
I
on.
mean, we worked in radio. It was nothing for like a greyhound to come running down the hallway and me just look up and be like, "There's a dog,"
Yeah.
you know, or just someone's riding a bicycle in the elevator and then like comes off. It's just nothing for
Yeah.
something wild to happen.
Yeah.
Like if you worked at a bank and somebody says something crazy to you or comes in and wants to donate 9,000 pennies and then something happens. It's just this happens to be in a convenience store.
Right.
Right.
It's life. It just happens to be in a convenience store. And wild shit happens every single day. And I think that's what the beauty of this film is, that we've all got it going on. All of us, every day.
So the next one's gonna suck. Just
No.
tell it to me straight.
I can't say about the third one. I haven't seen it yet, but the next one is great.
I like Clerks 2 a lot.
Side note,
Okay.
speaking of animals, can we give props to the cast member who gets the least amount of cred? Lennon's Tomb.
Lennon's Tomb, the
Yeah.
cat.
The
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
Cat.
The cat.
Yes.
Ready for our libation?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Are you guys ready for the
Yes,
libation?
lady.
All right. So, first of all, let me start off by saying that I had a great idea for a libation, because this, isn't a quick stop, and I'm like, okay, I want to do something that is maybe specific to the area, what kind of liquor, whatever kind of booze you can get in like a convenience store in Jersey, and do something with that. Brilliant, be fun,
Right.
go fun with it. Let me read you something. New Jersey's law prohibits the sale of alcoholic beverages at supermarkets, convenience stores, and gas stations. So you cannot get any kind of alcoholic
To this day?
beverages. Yes, at convenience stores in New Jersey. It's
So
a
you
it's a
have to go to a
licensing
liquor
issue.
store.
You're not allowed to hold more than, I think, 3 licenses in a business. So in a convenience store, you got your business license, license to sell
gas.
gasoline and cigarettes.
Right
Those are
outside
your
of
3.
New York, you also can't pump your own gas.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
Right.
still pump your gas
Yeah.
for you.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to change what my libation is.
Pivot.
So pivot.
Pivot.
Already got it figured out for the next movie. But for this one, because of Jay and Silent Bob, I have made liquid marijuana.
Ooh.
What?
Okay.
Snoogans.
I pre-mixed.
Oh, wow.
It's
Because
green.
it's a lot. There's a lot of different liquors in here. It's just easier for me to pre-mix. So I will post pictures.
Every time I see her pull that out, I'm like,
That
punch, punch.
that
Let's
looks
go.
That is
Let's
not
go.
much. Where are my cups?
I don't know, you just
And
had
see,
'em.
I'm like, ooh, that looks like Kool-Aid. Yum.
It's not Kool-Aid.
Pour
It's
me a
liquid
big glass.
marijuana.
It
So
better be because somebody drank
you
all the
open these for me
Gatorade.
while I read the
They drink
instructions.
all the Gatorade.
Okay, liquid marijuana. Here is the recipe. This is for one drink, and of course I
She did
made
maths.
enough. Yeah, I mathed it. I made enough for like 6
She did the
servings,
maths.
so which is going to end up being more because anyway. So it's a ½ ounce of Captain Morgan spiced rum, ½ ounce of blue curacao, ½ ounce of Malibu rum, a ½ ounce of Midori, and then 12 ounces of pineapple juice with a splash of sour mix. I did that and tasted it and decided it needed a lot more spiced rum. So let's just say that it's got a little spin on my spin on it.
Nice.
Because I like more liquor than pineapple juice. So
I got
there's
you an
that.
ice cup, and then
Thank
My
you.
diabetes is trembling with anticipation.
Yeah,
it's
there's
all of
it's
the
a
things I
lot.
enjoy. So maybe we found a marijuana I like.
It's tasty.
Do you
Doesn't
not like a
taste
marijuana?
I do not like. Have I told you my marijuana
No, I've not heard
story?
your marijuana story.
Okay.
Okay, so upon researching drinks around these movies, I discovered, of course, a Clerks drinking game.
Oh God. Please don't say every time someone says cigarettes.
I'm about to run down. So
think I know
here's
this
the
game.
official Clerks drinking game. Okay, you take one sip when someone buys a pack of cigarettes. That's the first one. Hold on, I'm old. I have to put on my glasses.
Oh, that's really good.
All right. Take one sip when a customer asks, "Are you open?" One sip.
I'm
Yeah.
drunk before the first
There you
act.
go. One sip if Dante proclaims, "I'm not even supposed to be here today."
I feel like that should be a shot.
Yeah.
Well, every
we're-
time he says that
we're
should be a
getting there.
shot.
One sip when you hear a lyric from Berserker is sung. One sip when Dante slams the cash register door closed in anger. And one sip to a reference to a Star Wars is made. Now, you get 2 sips if someone says 37. 2 sips for a scene that's inserted to allow a cut to break up a long take. 2 sips. The quick stop or RST videos doors are locked during normal business hours. 2 sips if Randall insults a customer. 2 sips if someone mentions smelling the odor of shoe polish. And 2 sips when someone says a bunch of savages in this town.
Savages. But
Now we're getting serious. 3 sips.
Stop.
Nope.
3 sips.
We're already
when,
dead.
Yeah, 3
We're
sips
drinking water.
when
Spoilers.
someone screws a dead guy.
No.
3 sips when a word from one of your high school vocabulary quizzes that you can't define appears on screen. 3 sips when Lenin's tomb is on screen. And 3 sips when Randall is seen working behind the counter at RST Video. And waterfall. You finish your drink when Silent Bob speaks.
You don't have any drink left when Silent Bob speaks.
Yeah.
no,
you're-
you have to refill.
You
as
keep
necessary.
refilling.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
keep refilling.
This is delicious,
and this
by
is
the way.
and this
Well,
is
thank you. I've got plenty for for seconds.
I won't make it back to Saraland if I drink that.
marijuana story.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Okay. What was the year? The year was. I think it was the beginning of 2019. Was the first time. So.
oh, recently.
Yeah. Like, listen, I'm a goody good. Okay. I am very terrified of getting in trouble. And I was in San Francisco where it's legal. Just gonna go ahead and point that out there. It was legal. I flew to California. My brother was in what is that place? I don't remember. Anyway, I flew to go see my brother and a friend of mine at the time named Brittany. And I mean, she's still my friend. But we went to San Francisco. And when
Did
we
you
went
have
to San
flowers in your hair?
Francisco,
Thank you. I'm here all week.
no, it didn't. But I did go to a yarn shop, and it was the coolest yarn shop I've ever been to. And I went to see
that excites
Alcatraz.
me. I'm like, oh.
I look up yarn shops everywhere I go because I'm a nerd, and because it was legal there, I was like, I will
To buy yarn. You
I-
can
no,
only
no,
buy
no.
yarn there.
I will try the marijuana. Okay.
Try the marijuana.
Yes.
Just don't transport that yarn across state lines.
That's right.
Mm-mm.
They might yarn test you when you get back.
I was terrified, y'all. But okay, so this is probably one of the coolest trips I think I've ever taken, simply because
You
when
went
we
pot
went,
and yarn. Of course it was.
no, because when we went, we stayed at a hostel. And it's my first experience at a hostel, and it was just
They
as an
have hostels in the
experience.
States?
Yeah.
Everywhere
Oh,
you
yeah.
can stay
I
in
stayed
San
one in New York.
Francisco is so freaking expensive that the best place we could stay was in a hostel.
Oh wow.
And we happened to get one with its own bathroom because I was like, a shared bathroom makes me
That's
nervous. I don't like that. But it had this window that was like really close to the ground, and it opened all the way up, and you just looked between buildings, and the building that you looked at was painted, and it was beautiful. And so it was this like rundown, cool place, and that's where we were when we did it. And I remember sitting on the bed, and I had to go to the bathroom. And this room is small, y'all, because it's a hostel. And the bathroom was like, seriously, where that chair is right there. And I'm sitting on the bed, and that's where the door is. And I was like, I have to pee. And Brittany was like, go to the bathroom. Now she's very familiar with the marijuana, so she's like, it's right there.
Oh god.
And I was like, I will get lost. I walked like a robot. You know those little things that you
Yeah.
wind up and it goes, sheep, 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 sheep. That's how I walked to the bathroom. And I
'Cause
was
you were nervous?
terrified. That's just how I walked. That's how that's
Did
just.
everything feel weird and numb
But
and
here's the
heavy?
thing is like, my brain was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, walk like a person. And my body went, boop, boop, boop. Like, I could not understand how my brain was not telling my body how to function properly. But I remember thinking, you are being an idiot. What is wrong with
Did
you?
you laugh at yourself?
Yes. But my brain did not. So, like, smart Jestina was like, you are an idiot. Like, I was judging
Smart
myself
Justina's very disappointed.
hardcore, to the point where I was like, I cannot ever do that again because I've
Dante
never
was
felt
like, "You're an idiot."
so stupid before in my life and aware of my stupidity. It's like if you were drunk, but sober you was in there going, the hell did you just do? People can see you. What are you doing? But when you're drunk, you don't have that. You're just drunk. It doesn't matter. You're funny. Everybody thinks you're hilarious. It doesn't matter if you are or not. It's cool.
But you made
No.
it to the bathroom.
I made it to the bathroom and I robot walked back to the
Oh,
seriously
God.
the whole time I walked. It was like that like robot. Yes. Went to the little fridge thing where I had waters and I came back and sat on the bed and like twisted like a robot. That was just that's how I moved my body. I don't know.
You're so nervous.
So
that
since
you just wanted to
then-
make sure you were perfect.
Yeah. So since then I was like,
Wow.
I have anxiety really bad. People are like, like marijuana helps. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll be anxious
It's
forever.
funny. I just told Scotty this story
Yep.
before you guys got here
Uh,
because I was talking about, for whatever reason, marijuana and anxiety, and I was telling him that one of the first times that I ever did that. I mean, I was really young, not really young. I was like
6.
20, I think.
Yeah.
I was like 20.
Don't choke on your liquid marijuana over there.
Right?
My dad was a drug cop my whole life.
Oh, God.
Oh.
So your
So I
anxiety
was-
about
listen,
it was
growing
way
up. I
different.
never went downtown. Like I never went anywhere because I was terrified that my dad was undercover
Bless
somewhere.
your heart.
And I never went anywhere. I was just always scared. And when I did this that night, I ended up. I just told Scotty this, laying in the middle of the road and crying and saying, "I'm gonna die from marijuana, and my dad's a drug cop, and
So
he's
she's
gonna
gonna be the
so
one.
disappointed in me."
That's hilarious.
She's gonna be the
I mean,
one
it's not
overdose from marijuana.
hilarious.
But my anxiety my paranoia was wild.
My parents were
loved it.
hippies,
It was
so I
ridiculous.
grew up around it. It was like I remember my dad used to grow it, and I remember specifically, and of course this was in the 70s and early 80s, and he would show me, okay, so if the cops ever come, make sure they don't come back here. I'm this big. I'm a
She's literally 6.
I am like literally 6, no joke. And I remember like he would lay like after he had dried it and everything and lay it on the tray, and for fun he'd let me pick all the seeds out. I mean, this is me growing up, but I never smoked it until, believe it or not, until I was in college, because it wasn't taboo and a big thing. My
Because you
parents
grew up
also-
around it.
Well, also my parents smoked cigarettes, and I thought it all smelled bad, and so it wasn't. Now I drank early. Don't get me wrong, but I would never had any interest in smoking until I was in college. And my first year in college, I remember I'm talking about my very first set of finals. I'm stressed out, and so my mom, being the good mother that she is, I had my own apartment in time, brings over a bag of weed. Here, I just want you to have this because it'll help you, relax. Here you can go. Here's your weed. Here's your papers. And she says, now when you need more, just let me know because I don't want you to spend your college money on weed. I'll buy it for you.
All right.
So, there you go. So that's how all that happened.
Go Mom.
And
back
as,
in
always,
the
Yeah.
day.
as always, know your dealer. And
Right.
if it's
That's
your mom,
it.
Yeah.
That's
Come
how it was. And of course, that was like around. I
So
mean,
how
no-
old were you when you tried it for the first time?
What? First year of college, 18, 19?
Scotty?
You know, so.
Early 20s.
late teens.
Did you say 20?
I was
Late-
like 20.
So you were probably high school.
Caleb, have you tried
Yeah,
it?
No, I
high
have
school.
not.
Because I started working
we
in
need to
radio
fix
when I
that.
was in high school.
Yeah.
so-
It was
a
blueberry
thing.
flavored. It didn't taste bad.
Yeah.
It just made me a robot.
I mean, I
Yeah,
was
I-
drinking.
I've never
For
done
sure.
it. Like, I know
bet
people.
a gummy or an edible would work better with you.
I see. Part of me was like, I think I just need a brownie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
Just make me a brownie.
I'd probably do edible.
I don't
if I
do
were
well
to do
with
it.
edibles because
Really?
I don't. They take so long for them to kick in, and I
That's probably what I
always,
need.
almost
I need to ease
always
into
making
it.
the mistake of this isn't
Oh, and
working,
you
this isn't
overeat it.
And you
hitting,
eat too many.
and then I do too much,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm so incredibly screwed up that it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Tripping balls
it's
at that
really
point.
hard because I guess the way I metabolize it when I eat it is different. I'd rather
It takes about
just
30 minutes to an hour to kick in.
yeah, I'm very impatient. I'd rather just
Yeah,
get
you
my
She's like, when I have it, I want it now.
Yeah.
yeah.
kick
Well, I
in.
mean, also I feel like
heroin in me.
At some point, it's just cheaper to buy a ticket to a Willie Nelson show.
Yeah.
Walk
Yeah.
around.
But I also
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
if you smoke it, then you can regulate your high better. Like, you
Yes.
know, this is the level I want to be at. I'm going to stop, you know, I'll smoke until I get this high, and then I'll stop.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then,
But what's funny about your story, though, is it kind of proves the point of normalizing things make it where people are less likely to try it immediately.
absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
I did a lot of it in college. It was just everywhere. West Virginia has a lot of pot. So
What else are they going to
Yeah.
do there?
word.
So I was 29
Yeah,
when I
like-
tried mine.
I mean, what else are they doing
It's
in
okay,
West
I didn't-
It was
Virginia?
the year I turned 30.
I didn't start drinking till I was 28, so I feel you.
Oh, I started drinking a lot earlier than that.
Yeah,
Same.
Well, now you've got
I was a goodie,
We
so I
vape.
waited till my birthday, my 21st, to
Yeah.
drink.
I was
that's
probably
like space weed that makes rapper weed look weak.
I was probably
it's insane.
Right.
14 when I started drinking.
I was not
About
that
14.
young.
I started stealing my mom's cigarettes at
Shenanigans. I
15.
used to drink in shenanigans all
not
the time.
smoked.
We've talked about
Remember
shenanigans.
Yeah, we
Shenanigans?
talked about
Shenanigans.
shenanigans.
We talked about shenanigans. I think
We used to put vodka
Shenanigans.
in these little hairspray pump bottles and put them in our purses, and we'd go get a soda and shenanigans and pour the vodka. And
Well, I
stuff
was
in.
wondering if you were just going to bring
Shenanigans.
Gatorade with vodka in it because that was our sneaky little tactic back in the
And they were
day.
out of all the Gatorade.
They were out of all the Gatorades, so
Oh
this
yeah.
is much better. By the
Thank
way,
you.
Gatorade and vodka is terrible,
I do have a little.
but it was accessible.
Let me know when you're ready for a refill. I have plenty.
No,
I do have a little apocrypha for this one.
Okay.
Kevin Smith originally cast himself as Randall.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
This is
can't
wh-
imagine.
This is why Randall gets all the best lines.
Yeah.
I think it works, though.
yeah.
So, what do you think the original title of this movie was called?
Quick stop. I don't know.
I don't know. What
Quick
the
Stop was a
original
good
title
guess.
was.
There's a good guess. It's wrong,
Yeah.
but it's a good guess.
Come back to me.
Okay?
Was it Life?
No.
37.
Snowball.
Snowball.
That is nasty. That is so nasty.
almost
Just
said it for your
spitting in
face.
someone's mouth is nasty, but spitting that in their mouth is nastier. It's just so nasty.
I don't kink shame. Whatever they want.
I mean,
What was it?
Inconvenience.
Inconvenient.
Oh,
Oh,
inconvenient.
yeah,
That makes
that's
sense.
That's kind of cool.
That would be a cool name.
Then it was changed to this. Rude Clerks.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was shortened to Clerks, which I think is
Clerks
smart.
is
mm.
good.
So, there's a scene in the movie that's not shot that we all know about, right?
Yes, exactly.
Randall and Dante go to the funeral home, and then a quick cuts to them running away.
Right.
The
Julie
original scene,
Dwyer's funeral.
yeah, the original scene was scripted,
Okay.
and the reason why they didn't shoot it was because Scott Mosier was like, "We can't afford to do this because it wouldn't need extras. We need a whole other location that's not the Quick Stop, and
They couldn't pay.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, we can't do it.
So it's just implied that he knocks
Right.
it over.
So about 10 years later, they animated the scene in the style of the Clerks animated TV show, and you can watch it online. It is hilarious.
Nice.
The reason how the casket gets tumped over is because, first of all, what was her name? You just said her the body.
Julie Dwyer.
Yeah,
Julie.
Drowned in
Julie.
a pool.
They dressed Julie in
Tragic.
a halter top and a dress,
Oh, great.
and So they're talking about this. Like, why would you talk in a halter? And then Randall gets impatient and wants to go. And so he goes, well, just give me the keys and I'll just sit in the car and listen to music. And so Dante throws in the keys, bounces off his hand, and lands underneath her pants. And so he's got to fish them out. And then the dad gets involved. Like, what are you doing to my daughter? And then it turns out that's how they get knocked out.
God, that's hilarious.
The whole thing is online. It's about 9 minutes. It's hilarious.
And that is the original script.
It's the original
did.
script.
Yeah,
and
they
just did animated
And they
it.
just animated it.
And it comes with a little preview at
there's
Kevin Smith and them
Scott Moser talk about it, but it's and it's voiced by everybody, and it's it was really funny. So you can watch that. Tell me.
How much money did this movie make compared to budget?
It's coming.
3.7.
That's part of our segment.
Oh,
we'll get there.
I forgot that.
So, bar trivia time. When Dante and Randall fight at the end, a People magazine issue covering the death of Brandon Lee on the set of The Crow, which we have covered, can be seen in the background, directly dating this scene to April 1993. That's when they shot it. Kevin Smith, a keen comic book fan, sold a large portion of his collection to help fund this film. He has since been able to buy most of his books back. Kevin Smith worked, we talked about this a little bit, but Kevin Smith worked in the store where they shot the film. They shot for 21 straight nights. He would clock in at 6 a.m. and finish at 11 p.m. They then would shoot until 4 a.m., after which he would try to grab an hour or two of sleep before going back to work.
That's crazy.
So for 3 weeks, he's just like not having it.
It makes sense why the shutters are closed with it being nighttime outside.
Yeah, that's
was
exactly the reason why it was, because they all shut at night. The scene where Dante confronts Caitlin about her engagement to an Asian design major, which, by the way, it took me a minute to understand what they were saying. I was like, is it an Asian person who's a design major or someone majoring in Asian design? And it's the former. It's someone who's Asian, and they're. But the way they keep saying it, I'm like,
she says his name.
All right, and I'm like, wait a minute, is Asian design a thing? I didn't know. I was like, I don't know anything about design.
Probably though.
So
saying past tense.
The scene where Dante confronts Caitlin about her engagement to an Asian design major in the video store is done in one shot, which lasts for over 5 minutes. It was shot on the first night of filming. To your fact, filmed at the same store in which Kevin Smith was working at the time. We established that. He was only allowed to film outside of business hours, and because bright enough lights couldn't be afforded, the plot included an explanation for the shutters always being down.
Is that also why it's in black and white?
It's cheaper. It was cheaper for him to do it in black and white. The black and white film was way cheaper.
Yeah, now it's expensive.
Yeah,
because it was all film. It's not digital.
Right. So most of the things like that, where it's like, we can do black and white. That's what we can afford. There are so many nuances like that in these kind of films that make them so much better than other films. It's because it was, to me, I feel like they're just better. They're more honest and true.
Yep. Randall and the happy, scabby hero pup lady are not actually in the room at the same time. Jeff Anderson refused to read the list of porno movies in front of her, and particularly in front of the child.
That's fair.
Although her reaction shots of the happy, scrappy hero pup lady was obtained by reading the list to her.
I mean, that's fair that he was like, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
And somebody's like, I will totally leave pornos to this baby.
To this baby, specifically. Specifically the baby.
The smoker's lung that the Chuli's gum rep slams on the counter was actually a calf's liver thrown in dirt and burned with cigarettes.
Gross.
I think Jay did that, right? Jay was like, yeah, cool. Yeah.
Right.
So this part, so we talked about Kevin Smith. He sold part of his comic book collection. According to Kevin Smith in an interview in the book My First Movie, part of the movie's financing came from an insurance settlement. The settlement was from a car that he and Jason Mewes both drove that was destroyed in a flood. Jason Mewes had told him that there would be a flood and asked if he could move the car uphill, but Smith didn't trust him. So their car got flooded. They used that part of the movie. He also maxed out a bunch of credit cards and then sold the comic book collection. Kevin Smith said on speaking tours that the reason he cast himself in the movie was if the movie failed and he was in near permanent debt for the rest of his life, he could at least point at the fact that he was in this movie. So, of the 50 actors credited, only 2 at least had one film credit before appearing in this movie: Gary Stern and Mitch Cohen. The other 48 made their first on-screen appearance in this movie.
Wow.
Most of them were because became regular faces in many Kevin Smith films, while others would only make this one film. The Clerks logo is made of letters cut from various magazines and food items. The C is from Cosmopolitan magazine, the L is from Life, the E is from Rolling Stone, the R is from Ruffles potato chips, the K is from a Clark bar, and the S is from Goober's box. Goobers.
Goobers.
A Miramax employee read the screenplay to determine if the company wished to pick up the film for distribution. The reader came back to the scene where Dante, angry over his girlfriend's sexual past, yells at an obvious customer, "My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks," and the customer curiously replies, "In a row?" He laughed so hard that he stopped reading the script, immediately visited the vice president of production, and had him read the screen too. The VP greenlit the film for buying approval for Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein on the spot, because they own Miramax at the time.
Right.
Fun fact, Harvey Weinstein owns Dogma. The sole owner of Dogma. That's why it's not on
Really?
That upsets me so much
Really?
because I love
Blu-rays
that
are
movie.
actually very expensive on the secondary market.
Yeah.
Huh.
So upset about
Because
that.
it's a 25th anniversary just hit, I guess, last year before last, and they were trying to do an event, but Harvey's, like, the whole stuff with him, they
Well,
couldn't
and
do it.
Kevin
Yeah.
Smith kind of, after everything came to light about
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein, said, "I won't do anything that is going to put money in Harvey's
Yeah.
pocket." And
I
matter of
think-
fact, all of his royalties he donates to a women's abuse
Right.
organization.
I think, yeah. I think,
wonderful.
I think also he's secretly trying to get the rights to
The
it.
DVD.
I'm
I
sure
hope
he
he
is.
does.
Because
absolutely.
Weinstein's going to spend the rest of life in his jail. So.
The DVD on Amazon is $40.99 used.
Yep.
That's the DVD. The Blu-rays are more expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got the collection edition
let's
DVD.
see.
Yeah.
So, like the
There's a
5-year
Blu-ray.
one.
I got it. Yep.
$168 for the Blu-ray.
I see $199.
Yeah.
One
have
of
time
Kevin
for me to
Smith's
jump
good
out?
friend, Walter Flanagan, plays 4 separate roles in Clerks. Pablo, do you know all 4?
What?
Walter
What was the
Flanagan.
question? Sorry. I'm
one
about
of
to go
Kevin
to the
Smith's
I'm gonna need you to pay attention.
Walter, one of Kevin Smith's good friends, Walter Flanagan, plays 4 separate roles in Clerks.
Yeah.
Do you know all 4? Because you brought it up earlier.
Walt is the egg guy.
Yes.
He is the guy who he's got a hat on and he comes in and he's buying cigarettes.
He's the guy who buys
gets on the
cigarettes.
he gets on the
After
ambulance.
the Chewy guy?
Yeah.
After the Chulies thing happens, he's the guy who buys the cigarettes after the mob.
Right. And then he is
I think I know the last one if you don't.
oh god.
I think.
There's 2 more.
There's
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, I know one.
It's not coming to me. Damn it.
Go ahead.
Is it Fitness Guy? Was he
No.
the Fitness Guy?
No.
Yes,
That's
the
ups-
offended business guy.
The
No,
offended
I
guy.
said
Very offended
Fitness.
by
Fitness
Oh,
Guy.
no, the fitness guy is somebody else.
not the fitness guy. That's Ernie O'Donnell.
Okay, well then I was gonna say the offended business guy.
Yeah.
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 That's what I was gonna say.
Look,
Yeah.
I love that. That's totally what I was
Yeah, the
What was
jizz,
the
the
fourth?
jizz mopper is he plays the jizz mopper.
the jizz
Because if you
mopper.
watch, he's buying
Gross.
two packs of paper towels and Windex when they're talking about the jizz mopper
Ah.
thing. He's a jizz mopper.
That's it.
That's nice.
And last but not least is the customer rental says when they asked the cat's name, was annoying customer.
That's
So that's him.
Did you lose your mic or you
He's
good?
going
Front
to
of
the
the
restroom.
restroom.
Okay.
Oh, we can pause.
And we're pausing.
Yeah, I see Dogma on Blu-ray for $199.
Woo!
Get a refill, sis. All right. It is delish. Thank you. Really good.
Let's see.
It's definitely better with the extra spice.
Yeah, the 168
Yeah, I'm
one.
gonna get you to send me that because I think I think my sister would really like it.
The 168 one I see is an import one.
It's real easy. I mean, it's
Yeah, it sounded like it wasn't super difficult.
most of the shit I had at home, so it was really nice. Go ahead. Do you want any more, Caleb?
Yeah, I'm
Do you have any more absinthe?
Yeah. We were just talking about
Yeah,
it.
next time she's over.
Here, you want more ice?
She's never had it.
You've never had absinthe? Okay, we'll make. I mean, I can do it traditional for you, which I can do, but also Death in the Afternoons are amazing.
Well,
That's
so-
what he was saying.
Well,
That's,
can we make sure
absinthe
that we do it
and
on a show that
champagne.
I'm on as well? Because
Yeah.
I have not had absinthe
I've never
either.
had it.
We'll do Death in the Afternoons. I think you guys would like because the champagnes adds a little bit of sweetness. Otherwise, absinthe is quite bitter.
Okay.
I like it. I'll drink
drink
it
it
traditional.
straight.
Yeah, I'll drink it straight. I drink it traditionally.
Can you bring it with you so I can try it by itself too? when
Yeah,
we have
no,
it?
I'll
I
br-
guess you would. 'cause
No,
you
I
mix it
don't
with champagne.
pre-mix the abs.
I was like, I guess you would because champagne is mixed with.
Literally, death in afternoon is a ounce of or a shot of absinthe and the rest champagne.
And it's
But-
delicious.
But I'll bring it plain. Now I will say traditionally you don't do it just in by itself. The traditional is you dilute it with ice water and a sugar cube.
Sugar cube.
So
think
which
about
which
Moulin
I
Rouge
have
every
I
time,
have
the
an
green
absinthe
berry.
glass. Yeah, I have an absinthe glass and an absinthe spoon. I want a water like a real absinthe water dripper. I usually just have to drip it by hand. But you know what I'm talking? The fountain. I want one so bad. They're expensive. The water fountain drippers. Oh my God! It's probably good I don't have one though, because I drink that shit all the time. But I want one, a dripper, like one it's got usually with 2 spouts, so you can like fix 2 at a time.
Did you say Old Absinthe House has Death in the Afternoon or can make it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's several types of absinthe cocktails, but that's to me one of my favorites.
So good.
I think it's dangerous because it's so smooth.
Thank you. I don't either, but this is not bad.
Right?
I mean, it's got fruit juice in it. It's healthy. It's mostly alcohol. Mostly.
Fillmore.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Did it say why they switched venues, by the way?
No.
Weird.
That's jacked when they do that. Like that's.
It's the first time I've had that happen to me. I'm just worried about my seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
exactly why.
Because I'm.
Because you bought, 3rd row or something.
Yeah, I
Oh, and now
spent,
we got to move you. Now you're actually in 6th row, and you're like.
I spent
wait a
over
minute,
$100
you've got
for
a
these
legit
tickets. So
reason to say, hey, that's not what I purchased.
Yeah, that was John's father.
Maybe you'll get front row.
I'm never that damn lucky. All right. Last fun fact, or last Bard trivia. After they find the dead old man, they put both Caitlin and the dead man in the ambulance. There are 4 mistakes in the scene. First,
She's just sitting on the ground of the ambulance, not attached to anything, with a boner behind her. Like, he shut the door and was like, is that for real? She should be in a seat, correct?
that's the second one.
Oh, okay,
The
number 2.
first one is it's illegal in the state of New Jersey to transport an already deceased person in an ambulance.
Really?
Yeah.
The coroner has to.
Yeah. Second, Caitlin was not secured her seat belted for safety.
That bothered me.
Third, there was no attending EMT or paramedic in the back of the ambulance, which is also required when transporting a patient.
Yep.
He was dead. She was catatonic. It's
The
fine.
final mistake was leaving the scene with the lights and sirens. The patient, Caitlin, was not in any immediate danger, so going quote-unquote code 3 would have not been necessary.
So whoever they knew that had an ambulance that was off duty and used it does not know their job very well.
Yes. So, did you know
Probably not.
that Clerks was so popular that it even has a failed television pilot?
Yes.
Yep.
I did not.
I didn't
Seen
either.
it.
I've
I'm
seen
a
it.
little disappointed in you,
You've
Stephanie.
seen it? I know.
Starring-
You should be disappointed
am.
in me.
Starring of all people, Jim Brewer.
Drew Brewer plays.
Okay, who's
What?
that? Who's
Yeah.
Jim Brewer?
From Saturday
From
Night
Saturday
Live.
Night Live. Go
He was
for
Goat Boy.
Jim Brewer.
I love Goat Boy.
I did too.
Now a very right wing.
Kind of a right-wing guy.
Yeah.
We saw him a couple
Still
years
Kind
ago.
of a Trumper.
I'll have to
at
look
the
him
Hard
up.
Rock, and it was hard to watch.
Gonna have to look him up. I saw
This is what he looks like.
he kind of looks like a goat boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jim Brewer was in it. He played Randall.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
Yeah.
that casting.
At the time, I could see where to some
Yeah.
casting director that might
It made sense.
have made sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's pre-fame Jim Brewer.
Now,
Half
current Jim
baked.
Brewer, it's a little harder
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah,
Also-
no, absolutely not.
Also in this movie was his TV show was Carrie Russell.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Yep.
Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell.
Felicity herself.
Felicity herself. Yeah, she was in it. She plays she has a decent part, but it's not one of the main characters. It has a Veronica in it, and there's a Dante, and
She seems very, very straight-laced for a Clerks.
there are no Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh.
They turn Jay and Silent Bob into a third wheel who's an ice cream vendor, and so
Was this for network television?
yes,
ABC.
Yep.
ABC.
no Fox.
Fox.
Was it
Yeah,
Fox?
it's
Fox.
Or
Fox.
was it ABC?
Well, Fox was
I mean, okay, so that's my next thing. So, but if you want to watch the Clerks TV pilot, it's out there. I watched it. It's like 22 minutes, and it's
bad.
yeah,
Oh, no.
it's not bad. It's not a Clerks, but B, it's like it's typical what you expect in 1990s sitcom.
It just didn't get picked up.
Yeah, it doesn't get picked up.
Yeah.
Fun fact, though, Brian Ohallran and Jeff Anderson both auditioned for the roles and didn't get it.
That's so
They-
stupid.
Right?
And they were thankful afterwards. They were thankful. There was also a Clerks animated TV show that ran 6 episodes and is funny as hell.
Yes.
That went on ABC. He had a choice. Kevin Smith had a choice to go to UPN or ABC, and
What the hell's UPN?
Thank you.
T44.
wow.
Yeah.
So UPN
I have no idea what that was.
WJTC,
before the
T44.
CW. You remember? You know the CW.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what CW used to be.
Yeah, the CW used to be
Okay.
UPN.
Out of
United
Chicago?
People's Network.
They were the Paramount. It's Paramount.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I've never watched a lot on the CW because it always, at the time where that was a big thing, it was geared towards a much younger crowd than
I watched
me.
a lot on the
Veronica
CW.
Mars was my jam.
I mean,
was
even
gonna-
UPN was
Well,
still
Buffy.
is.
Buffy's on UPN.
Yeah, no, Buffy I love.
UPN and
Even-
Voyager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
UPN.
watched Voyager. I watched Buffy.
So you
what
watched-
about Angel?
UPN.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did that. I
Yeah.
did those, but then they had like a lot of teen stuff, like
Well, I
teen
mean, it's always
dramas.
been that
Well,
way.
Yeah,
that's
like
Gossip
Buffy
Girl.
and Angel.
Yeah. Well, I meant like
I know,
like
Megan.
that kind of
Don't,
stuff.
Yeah.
don't offend the biggest Gilmore Girls fan in the world.
Never
here.
seen one episode. Not
Okay,
one
so
episode.
my kid's name is Rory. I didn't know. I'd never watched Gilmore Girls before when I had Rory. And then everyone came up to me and was like, "Oh, from Gilmore Girls." No, I've never seen it. But then I started watching it, and I got a little obsessed.
I have a hard time saying that name. So
But, yeah, well, that's why we call her Bubs, because it's Wowie. We gave her a name with 4 R's, and she couldn't say R's growing up. So
Right.
it was Wowie Fommel. And her teachers just call her Roy, because Rory is hard
Rory
to say.
is hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard word.
It's hard. I know.
Thanks,
yeah,
Mom.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. Rory.
Rory.
It's
Uh,
a pretty name, but
Okay,
it's so hard.
Johnna, Joanna, Johanna, Johanna, Joanna.
Yeah.
I've been called everything.
Yeah, there you go.
So Kevin Smith had a choice to put it on ABC or UPN, and UPN had the Dilbert cartoon at the time, and his agent at the time said, "Hey, look, everyone knows ABC. UPN's probably not going to be around next year, so just put it on ABC." And so he did. It lasted 6 episodes. If it was on UPN, I think it would have got like 3 seasons or 4
Maybe.
seasons.
Maybe.
Probably.
It is.
It'd probably do well now.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. There's been a push to. I was talking when Brian Ohallran was here at G&G last year.
Last year.
We talked about it. There's a push to get it back out to do
Yeah,
another one.
I think it has less to do with what network it was on and more with timing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
But-
highly offensive.
But look at it this way. You know, I was talking to my husband yesterday. We saw something on TV where South Park is turning 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, they're highly offensive.
Have
but
you watched the new
great.
stuff on Paramount?
I
Yeah.
have not watched the streaming wars yet,
I've
but
s-
I've
I've
watched.
Wars 1 and 2
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
brilliant.
I've seen one. I haven't seen 2 yet.
Yeah.
Be great.
It's funny.
I feel like if he could have gotten his foot in something like that,
In like a
it would've
Comedy
been fun.
Central or
Yeah.
FX.
Yeah. Like a different network.
No, absolutely. I think
mean-
it would have lasted.
Yeah.
This lasted 6 episodes. There's some really funny ones. There's one where Jay befriends a monkey,
Oh, he does that in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
and they do. They basically do Outbreak with a deadly Mutapa virus.
Nice.
There's one that's basically a cross between Bad News Bears, The Last Starfighter, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yeah, Temple of Doom. So Randall plays a video game called Pharaoh that he's really, really good at. And then Dante's trying to coach a baseball team he's really bad at. And then the people behind the video game kidnap Dante to make him run a mine. It's the funniest damn thing in
Oh
the
my
world.
God.
The first episode is almost a clip show callbacks of earlier episodes. There are no earlier episodes, so it's always bars and tone when they cut to that stuff.
Oh God.
It's a great joke. It's a great joke. My favorite joke in it that's cut from the broadcast that's in the DVD collection is they're at the RTS video watching movies together, Dante and Randall, and one of the things they watch is Flintstones List, which is a combo of the Flintstones and Schindler's List.
Oh God.
And so it's it's you have a Nazi caveman who are getting Jewish cavemen onto the train. He goes, get on the train, and they get on the train, and then they go, and then they just all pick up the train and
Start
walk.
running.
Nice.
Oh, it's beautifully offensive. I died laughing. And so,
So where is it streaming now?
Apple TV is the only place you can get it.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's but you have to pay for it. But it's like $6.
Yeah.
But
Worth it.
it's worth
Yeah.
it. It's definitely worth having. So those are the two Clerks things that were not the movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Random makes an observation about. Had you noticed that all the prices ended in 95 or 9?
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 reasons why that's true.
Okay.
I looked this up. I was hoping there was going to be one thing, but it's conflicting. But the two biggest ones were the reason prices ended in 95 and 99 are set under a round figure was so that cashiers would always have to open the register to give change, thus recording a sale and preventing them from pocketing the bills. Also, ending in prices in 99 is based on the theory that because we read from left to right, the first digit of the price resonates with us the most. That's why shoppers are more likely to buy a product for $4.99 than the identical one for $5. $4.91 is technically 99 is cheaper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
My dad did that.
And
Like
so-
when we priced stuff at the store, it if it's $9.99 or his was $95, $9.95 it's under $10.
Right.
Even though it becomes more than $10
Mhm.
after tax.
Most retail places do that.
Yeah.
yeah, we do. I don't at the toy shop.
Because you don't math that well.
I don't math that well.
So it's easier for you to do whole
And
numbers.
you own the toy shop, so if you pocket the money,
It's your money.
It's your
your
money.
money.
Yeah, it's still embezzlement.
But it's easier, for someone with whole numbers to do 10%.
Right.
I didn't even think about the pocketing though. That's a good point. Of if it's just $5, it'd be easy for just to swap out.
Shoot, nowadays most people just pay with a card.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Closing
I have a question.
Sure.
Oh, wait, are we going to do Screw, Mary, Kill? Or
Oh, yeah. Screw, Mary, Jill. Absolutely.
Okay.
Um,
But on the money thing, I've seen. Okay, for instance, went to the liquor store to buy some supplies for our lovely drink, and on the thing it says we no longer take PayPal. Was that a thing? You
Mhm.
could
It
you
was.
could pay
It is a
Yeah.
thing.
PayPal
Yeah.
at a liquor store.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sitting there
Venmo
going,
too.
And
Venmo
Venmo,
has where you
Venmo,
can get a little
Apple
like
Pay.
a square and you can
that
pay
is
with
just
them.
crazy to
Yeah.
me.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either. I'm like, all right.
Like now that you're no longer taking it, I would like to pay that
Right.
way if you don't mind.
Now that I
Okay.
found out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Screw, Mary,
Um,
Kill.
Before that, there is something I wanted to bring up that we talked about before the show.
Okay.
There was an original ending.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I was supposed to be in the Apocrypha. I forgot it.
So the original ending, which I kept remembering while watching it because I've seen it, but I
Which is
forgot.
also on YouTube.
Yeah, I forgot that it's cut out. So originally, Dante was supposed to die at the end.
What?
Yeah, they murdered
Yeah.
Dante at the end of it.
Yeah. Originally, the fight happens. He leaves. Randall leaves, and then as he's getting ready to close the store, a guy comes in, robs him, and then shoots him.
And then takes the money and
Yep.
goes black.
And
test
and
it?
that was the end. But it didn't test well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
They did test audiences. They didn't like it, and so they were like, "Okay, we got to cut that out." And now they just cut that out. And
Yeah, it just ends with, like, your clothes, which I think is a better
Yeah.
ending.
I think so because obviously it leads to other movies.
Well, yeah, he didn't expect to have any
No.
movies.
And it's referenced in the Clerks 3 trailer when he
Yeah.
gets to
Yeah.
that shot. That's
So,
a reference
also
to that.
fun
Oh,
fa-
yeah.
With
so,
the same actor who played it in the original. The
Oh,
guy
wow.
who played Coey London in Chasing Amy.
so, fun fact, Kevin Smith doesn't own Clerks.
He does not.
He does not own Clerks.
Okay.
Well, imagine if he sold
So
so
who
much
did he
stuff, he
sell it
probably
to?
sold
Miramax.
it.
He sold to
Miramax,
Miramax. So
that's
Miramax.
right.
However, during the negotiations of Clerks, his agent comes to him and goes, "All right, here's what we're negotiating. Is there anything you want?" And then he says, "Well, I'm using the characters Jay and Silent Bob in Mallrats, so I want to be able to use Jay and Silent Bob." And so they're like, "Why do they want these guys?" And so they got back and forth. And so Kevin said was, "Well, Jason is worried that Jay is his name, and so he'd be selling his name."
yeah,
Which is a lie. He didn't. But
Right.
so his agent, but his agent goes back to Miramax, and then Miramax goes, "And who are those guys again? They're the guys outside, selling dope. Oh, they're not the Clerks, right? No, the show is called Clerks,
Right.
and so they can have
Jay and
Smelly
Silent
Bob
Bob.
and whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's how. So he doesn't own Clerks, but he owns Jay and Silent. So that's why everything is Jay and Silent Bob this and Jay and
Yeah.
Silent
Right,
Bob that.
right.
Yeah.
It's because he right out owns those characters, and everyone else he has a license from Miramax or Disney now
Yep.
to.
But I think
do
that was brilliant.
No,
on
absolutely,
his part.
absolutely, absolutely.
That's freaking
And then
crazy
also-
that Clerks is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, originally it was going to be NC-17.
which is weird because there's
Yeah.
not a lot in it to make it, and they made a couple of small cuts and got down to R.
Yeah, it's the South Park effect. They just
Yeah.
made small cuts and
Yeah.
Actually, I remember Kevin telling the story that they made a couple of cuts and it still came back NC-17. And so they finally said, okay, we'll cut it again. They made no further cuts,
That's-
resubmitted the exact same cut,
Yep.
and it
Got
got the R.
approved.
Once again, the South
That's
Park. It's the
fantastic.
South Park effect.
It happens all the time.
That happened with South Park, the bigger, longer, and uncut. They did
Yeah.
the same exact thing where they didn't
actually need
change
to
a
do-
thing and they gave it an R
Just
instead.
resubmitted.
I need to do a what if I told you about the MPAA.
Yeah.
Because the MPAA is that's the people who regulate the film rating system. It's arbitrary and no one knows who they are.
Ultra subjective.
It's
Yeah.
ultra subjective. Most of them are right wing leaning.
Like
It's-
there's no actual rules.
yeah, there's no rules.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Why was it more important them to have the R than the NC-17? Why
Because
does it
it's
matter?
harder to
Yeah, it's-
theatrically
You
sell
can't.
it.
Yeah, you
Theaters
can't
won't
release
carry it.
NC-17
Well, you can,
everywhere.
but more
technically-
theaters will pick up a rated R film than they will
My mom
NC-17.
used
Why?
to be like, NC-17's like softcore porn.
Yeah, it's X.
NC-17 was the
But-
X.
Yeah.
But why
They
is
were
that the X
kids.
but R isn't?
because there's
R to me
more.
was always worse.
Well, number one. So you have the
You
lim-
can get into an R movie, by the way, with your parents as long as they approve of it. But
Yeah.
Right.
NC-17, you have to be 17 regardless.
period to get into
So
it.
it's more regulated.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it
bad
like
business
on a
decision.
scale you had like G, PG, PG-13, NC-17,
And quite
R.
honestly-
it's the other way around.
Which is
R
why my dad was able
NC-17.
to
See, I
buy
didn't
me
know
a
that.
ticket
So I
to
was like,
American
why
Pie
do
at
they want it to be
14.
more
Right.
bad than?
Well, for the longest time, there were only what 4 ratings.
Yeah.
It was G, PG, R, X,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was it.
Oh.
And then porn came out, and they were like, "Well, we can't use X because porn keeps doing triple X," and
Yeah.
so they changed
Well,
it
see,
to
triple
NC-17.
X, triple X is not a real.
I know,
rating,
but
it's-
but they
it's
didn't
a-
want to be connected to
right.
it.
X is the rating, but they wanted to do like it's a marketing ploy for the
Yes.
double and triple
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
It's not.
If you thought that was dirty,
Yeah,
we'll triple it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So X is really like when you hear X, that is porn. NC-17 could be a fantastic movie, but might have situations in it that are not suitable, like strictly like 100% not suitable for anybody under 17, and that's why they.
So even if the
Ultra
parents say
gore
it's
can
okay.
get it,
Yeah.
language
Right,
So
well-
I think my
get
thing
it.
is I
Sexual
just like I had them in
violence.
a different order. So I was
Mhm.
like, why would you want a higher rating? I didn't realize
Yeah.
NC-17 was above
Higher,
R.
like, yeah.
So
yeah.
Like
That makes sense.
like a Clockwork Orange is NC-17 now. It was X, and so
I think it's
Okay.
R
Business
now.
purposes,
It's R
the
now.
NC-17
Oh yeah, it's R now
It's
because
R now.
they've gone
Straight
back
up
and
on the-
It's R now. It's been R for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what the first NC-17 movie was? It's a weird fun
I
facts
knew
that I
this at
know.
one point, and I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Go.
Henry and June.
That's it.
It's
Mm.
a softcore romance story. It's really good. It's
I've
very,
never seen
it's
it.
very artsy. It came out
Yeah.
like 1987, 88.
I know the first successful
He used to wa-
NC-17 animated film.
He used to watch Emmanuel back in the day.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel on
What-
Cinemax.
What was the Canon Films one that Bo Derek is in? The horse movie where she's like mostly naked in that.
Bolero?
Bolero, yeah. That's an R rating, but you're like, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's in it, and Maria Sirtis is in it. And Maria Sirtis is mostly topless to it. It's like Dana Troy's topless up in this movie. It's
Wow,
It-
I've never
it's-
even heard of it.
topless in lots of those. She's
It-
in a lot of those early.
Is Midnight Cowboy still NC-17 or have they gone back on that?
I think it's now officially unrated, non-rated NR.
Okay.
But yeah, because it was an X rating.
Yeah.
And it's the first movie. It's the first X-rated movie to win Best Picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Because
never even
so many
seen
good
Midnight
performances
Cowboy.
in it.
Dustin Hoffman and John Voight. It's
Yep.
very good.
What's it about?
John Voight is a
Isn't
guy.
that Angelina Jolie's dad?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
John Voight is a kid from the South, goes to New York City, becomes a gigolo,
Oh, okay.
and he befriends a sleazy kind of guy that's played by Dustin Hoffman. And there's a lot of weird and bizarre sexual situations through the whole film.
Okay.
It's the we're walking here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where that
Yay,
comes
we're
from.
walking.
Yay, we're
Yeah.
walking. That's where it comes from.
Which is actually something that happened because somebody actually drove onto the set. and-
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I think that's more apocrypha than anything. I think it was set, but
Okay, screw, Mary, kill.
Yes.
Screw, Mary, kill.
All right. I had a hard time picking characters because I really wanted to include either
Everybody.
Jay or
Mhm.
everybody, but 3. We can only have 3.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's your game. You can have as many as
well,
you want.
right. But I
I
decided.
mean, I can pick through the 3 I want to do.
So here's the thing. I decided that we have 2 more Clerks movies to go through
Mhm.
after this one. So we'll just start today with we're gonna do Dante, Randall, and Veronica.
Oh, we have
Oh,
to
this
choose
one.
from
I was
them?
really
Yeah.
Screw,
hoping
Mary,
you were gonna
kill.
pick. Was it Christina or whatever, his ex-girlfriend? Because I wanted to kill her so bad.
I know, right?
Like,
Oh,
so
Caitlin
bad.
Bree?
Sorry.
Caitlin.
Yeah.
Yes,
Caitlin.
I'm saying I had a hard time because I wanted to throw like Jay and Silent Bob in there too.
Sadly,
but
Caitlin Bree's no longer with us. She passed away.
Well, now I feel like a dick.
Yeah.
few
there you
years
go.
ago.
But
Also, once briefly married to Jeff Anderson.
Yeah, her Jeff
Randall.
Anderson was married for a year.
who's Jeff Anderson?
The-
Randall.
Randall.
Thank you. Thank you.
He proposed on set.
Aw.
I just greatly dislike that character walking in right after the guy being like, "Oh yeah, I screwed her the whole time you guys were together. You didn't know? It's fine. It was years ago."
And
her
then
being,
Also,
wanna be
Dante
with
doesn't
you.
bring it up at all.
No,
Just
it's like it didn't even happen. He's just like, "I miss you. You're engaged." No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Let me just break up with a girlfriend that brought me lasagna. It's fine.
yeah.
She's had 37 dicks. It doesn't matter.
Dante is what the kids
In a row?
nowadays would call a simp.
Anyway, Randall, Dante, and Veronica.
Who wants to start?
Let our guest start.
That means you.
Wait.
You guys.
Well,
Who
that's
are you
kinda
gonna
weird
screw?
for
Who
me.
are you
Screw,
gonna
marry,
kill? And who are
kill.
you gonna marry?
What are my choices again?
Screw, Mary, kill.
Dante, Randall, and Veronica.
Veronica.
Yeah, I guess Veronica.
For which one? You have to pick who you're gonna do each
Screw.
one
So
with.
screwing and marrying Veronica.
No, you
No,
gotta
you
pick
can't play
one.
that
Oh,
game.
then if I have to, if I have to, then I'm gonna have to marry. I'd have to marry Randall simply because he'd keep me entertained, and then we have to kill Dante.
Ooh.
So
Okay,
we're gonna
that's
go with that
interesting.
original
I like it.
ending.
All right.
Is
That's
what I'm hearing right
interesting.
now.
I got you.
And you're gonna screw Veronica.
Johnna?
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry Veronica. Screw Randall because I think that would be interesting, and kill Dante.
I know Dante love him in here.
All right. I'm going to.
I have enough anxiety and stresses in my life. Dante couldn't. We couldn't. No.
Yeah.
I'm going to screw Veronica because she obviously has experience.
With dicks.
37.
I mean, if she could suck a dick, she could suck.
I just want you to know,
I'm just saying.
it's not the same. It is not the
It's
same.
not the same.
It is not the same.
It's not the same.
I mean,
It
she
is
does
not.
have a
The,
screw.
there are
I feel like-
different.
I feel
there
like
are
she's-
different things.
I
you have to
feel
do.
like she is willing to try.
I'm just gonna.
I just want y'all to know.
I understand. I know for a fact. But I'm just saying that I feel like she would be willing to try.
This
She'd
is the
be
portion
down
of the
for
show
it.
where I feel like I need an adult.
Why?
She
This
also
show
likes
was
to
broadcast at
to
Sunday school at the
snowball.
local Baptist church.
It's
all right.
regulated right through the middle. Again, we have Dante and we have Randall.
Also, you
But-
should have seen this when we did this last week with Uncle Henry.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So yeah, I'm screwing Veronica. I am gonna marry Dante because he will paint my toes for me,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have to kill Randall because he reminds me so much of myself.
I'm marrying Veronica because you know me. I love stability.
Yep.
She makes lasagna.
And lasagna.
Lasagna,
And
and I
lasagna,
like
oh,
both
yeah.
of those
Yeah.
things.
I'm like
Stability and
Garfield.
lasagna. I am screwing Dante because he seems like an experienced lover. He's had a few girlfriends.
Yep.
There you go.
So and got to kill Randall because he doesn't want to be here anyway. I mean, like he's kind of a nihilist. So just give him his out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to kill Veronica because she seems like a lot, and I need her to go. Like, she seems needy and clingy. Like, I need her to go. I will probably screw Randall because it seems like he would take care of me. Like, he seems like he doesn't give a fuck enough that he's going to take care of me. And then I'll marry Dante because, I don't know, I feel like he's still just a child. But once he gets over that child hump, like, he's going to go places. He's gonna take
cares.
care of stuff.
Have you watched
All the way to
Clerks too?
movies.
She's not.
No.
Just leave her alone.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
leaving her
about to-
alone.
Just leave her alone.
He's gonna go places.
He's
Don't
going
break
places.
my
He's going
heart.
places, honey.
I will
He's
call
going
you in
places.
2 weeks.
He's going
Actually, honestly, if you want you for free 2 weeks from now, you're more than welcome to come do Clerks 2 with us.
I'm
Do it.
in.
I'm gonna come
We
in
can do
that.
wearing
All right.
all black, probably in the morning. I don't know. Don't tell me.
Morning,
Nobody tell
husband.
me.
I have my drink already planned for that movie, so
That one's a wild ride. Don't let
Alright.
your kid walk in.
I'll probably watch it.
yeah,
at 4 in the
that
morning
is
again.
not safe for your children.
This one wasn't safe for my children.
But the next one
one's for real,
definitely
safe.
is not safe for your children.
Okay.
Yeah, Mackenzie could have watched it.
I
The
don't
second one?
know.
First
no.
Oh, this one, not the
Yeah.
second though.
They
Second
said a
one's
lot
bad.
of things on this one.
The second one.
They
She got to
explained-
learn.
They
The second
explained
one is a lot more
snowballing, which I
visual.
didn't know what that was.
You didn't know about that?
No, I didn't know what snowball. I wouldn't think anybody would want to do that. Would want to and then
do
get
what?
it back
Should-
themselves.
Well, it's more than that. It's also they then shoot it back as well.
They just keep going back and forth. Well, this situation is snowballing. That's ridiculous.
That's why it's snowballing, because it's becoming bigger.
I need an adult.
How old are you? Have we not
I'm
discovered that
33.
whatever weird thing there is on the earth, someone's into it?
Listen, let's just get past the
Somebody's
gopher,
really
okay?
into blue painted concrete wall behind you, and
Look.
watch out.
We're not
Caleb.
shaming.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I'm gonna save us from this. Caleb, what you think?
Let's see. I had it in my head just a second ago. Oh, Veronica Mary, because like you, stability. She's going to college. She's got her life prepared. This is somebody who knows what she's doing in the next 10 years.
She's in 3. I'm curious how she's gonna turn out in 3.
And she wants
Yeah.
to take care of someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
she's
she's gonna
needy and
cook
clingy.
for me. She's
Good
gonna
luck.
take care of me.
Good luck.
Maybe after I have sex with her, she'll feed me lasagna.
Screw Dante, because he's just got this big old stress ball. So I feel like he's got a lot of pent up something.
Oh, that is a good point.
Yeah.
He's gonna take that out somewhere.
Caleb for the win.
Best reason.
Yeah.
And then I kill Randall, because he's like, while I can agree with some of his points, he'd be that annoying friend that I just can't be around.
Sorry, Stephanie. He cut you off.
I'm feeling a little attacked today.
Not you.
All right, Clerks opened on October 21st, 1994. What do you think it made total? Domestic.
I believe it was.
Jack was conceived on that day, and I'm not even lying.
After you left the theater.
No, I'm not even lying. Like that was his. Like when we tracked it, he was born July 10th in '95. He was conceived.
Please tell Kevin Smith that right before you say.
My
"Can I
son
be
was
in-"
conceived on the day your movie came out.
Right.
Oh my God!
Coincidence? I think not.
I'll be like, and I'm the son.
Hi, Dad. It's your kid.
That's hilarious.
All
I
right.
felt like I missed.
I'm
the
gonna say
opportunity
15
in naming
million.
my son.
15 million.
I believe it was 3.7.
3.7.
I'm really shooting for 15 though.
What did they open at? I'm gonna
No,
say.
no, open up the total. Just total.
Oh,
This is
total. Oh God.
Oh, is it for the weekend or total altogether?
Total.
All together.
Okay, thank you.
All
I'm
together.
gonna say with 15.
22.
22.
30.
30.
5.
Pablo's closest, 3.1.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I thought like
Really?
after all these years it would have made more with other stuff.
But on a $28,000 budget.
Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right.
That's
huge
insane.
return
That's
on
great.
Investment.
That
Yeah.
is huge.
Actually, it made profit on its debut on the opening weekend. It only opened in 2 theaters
Oh wow.
opening weekend.
Where at?
I don't have the locations.
I would
The
bet New
Angelica?
Jersey.
In Manhattan and somewhere else. I remember
Well
hearing Kevin
done.
tell the story.
Probably
Wow.
of them
Manhattan,
going,
LA
and
usually.
Bob Hawke, who was a film producer,
Right.
saw it and went raving about it and helped spread the word about
No,
it.
he saw it. No,
and
he saw it at Sundance.
at Sundance.
Yeah,
that's
it was
right.
at
That's what
Sundance
got him
first.
signed,
Yeah, this
and-
is after Sundance.
But then that helped with all the promotion going forward.
It made 31,000. Its opening weekend.
Nice.
They paid 28.
Yeah, they paid 28. All right. There are 5 movies in the top 5 of that weekend.
I don't want to play this game.
94?
October 21st through 23rd, 1994.
It's 94, so it's not Toy Story, guys. That's next year.
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is not on the list.
Yeah, I think
Lion
that was a different
King.
week.
Not on the list.
We are hitting up some animated stuff. Like no
Would you like to go from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
5 to 1.
5 to 1 always.
I've never seen this movie.
Give me hints.
I will give you. It's a a movie about a body of water that rushes, and there's some killers involved.
The River Wild.
The River
I have
Wild.
seen
River
that.
Wild with Meryl Streep. It
Meryl
is
Yeah, that was a good
fantastic.
movie.
It's really good.
This is a tiny football movie.
Little Giants.
Yes.
We're doing
Nice
very
box.
well.
Look at you go.
Uh,
I just watched that like last week.
who is in this? I think this is a Warren Beatty film.
Tiny football movie.
I basically gave it away.
Yeah.
The title. This movie is two people meet on a flight to Sydney. Although both are engaged to others, they fall in love during the evacuation after a forced landing and agree to meet in New York City 3 months later if the attraction lasts.
I want it. I feel like
And it's Warren Beatty and somebody else in it.
I have no idea.
No idea.
clue.
I've never seen either. It's called The Love Affair.
Oh.
Well, all
That would
right.
make sense. Kind of on the nose there.
This is a Sharon Stone's Sylvester Stallone movie about a bomb expert who's trying to destroy the mafia that killed her family.
Oh, jeez.
Not a whole lot of winners
I
this
remember
week.
the name.
No.
It was a off week.
It really was.
The Specialist.
The special.
All right.
Well,
Number one's a movie you like a lot.
Okay.
It is an Oscar-winning film that is broken up into a bunch of loosely connected vignettes.
Oh, that'd be Pulp Fiction.
That is
Yeah,
Pulp
Pulp
I
Fiction.
love Pulp
Yep.
Fiction.
God, that was 94?
94.
yep.
Wow.
All right. Clerks did not make the top 5.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
For the year, it didn't.
No,
Well,
it-
yeah.
for the year, it made so it was 3.1. So
I would say 75, 79, somewhere around
79. What do you think? Where did Clerks land up in the top?
Out of how many?
Oh, let's say 200.
there. Oh, I'm
Oh.
going to take that back then. 149.
149.
Um,
You see how far I scroll back?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
169.
169.
That'd
That's
be
good.
glorious
Good
if
guess.
it was 169.
168.
168.
170.
So 168 is Silent Falls. 169 The Favor. 170 Princess Caribou.
169 would be a favor.
172 Clerks.
Oh,
Wow.
What are the top 5 films of 1994? Would
Pocahontas.
no.
I'm just going to keep guessing
Pulp
Pocahontas.
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is not a top film. It
Mm-mm.
is where is Pulp Fiction?
Really? Was it a sleeper?
Yeah, it was.
Pulp Fiction released in like October, and so
Oh.
It would have been.
it
next
didn't give it
year.
enough time to. It didn't blow up until after the Oscars anyway.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, but
The
it's
guy
in the
that
top 50.
that did Home
Forrest
Improvement, did he have a top?
Tim Allen?
Yeah, thank you. I
Santa
kept-
Claus? Was that around then?
Would we like to go
Was Titanic?
5 to 1? No,
Tit-
Titanic's
5 to
97.
1. Yeah.
97, okay.
5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
5 to
5
1.
to 1.
Always.
This is a movie based on I think the second longest running primetime cartoon show.
The Simpsons.
The Flintstones.
Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Flintstones.
Yeah, I love the Flintstones movie.
My kids just watched that
John
the other
Goodman.
day.
That was good.
Yeah,
John
John
Goodman,
Goodman and
Rick Moranis.
yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell and I forgot who played Wilma in that.
And also the villain. I like the villain in that.
Jonah,
The mom was the girlfriend from Big,
yeah.
whatever her name is.
Number 4 is a Tim Allen movie,
See, I knew there was a Tim Allen. I can't think of what it was though.
Oh.
Was it Santa Claus?
The Santa Claus.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Number 3 is a James Cameron movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Last Action
I'll
Hero.
be back.
No, that would
That'd
be Terminator 2.
Nope.
True
No?
Lies.
True Lies.
True Lies?
Good
Yep.
movie.
Oh,
True
True
Lies.
Lies is great.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
That
Uh,
was a good one.
Number 2
Number 2,
is a Tom Hanks movie. He wins the Oscar for this one.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yep.
That
Was
was that long ago?
He,
Yeah.
he
Mama
wins.
said life was like a
Wow.
box of
He
chocolates.
wins his second Oscar. His first one was the year before for Philadelphia.
How crazy is that? That was that long ago.
Number 1 is a Disney movie that is not Toy Story
Or Pocahontas.
Or
Or
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
or Pocahontas.
Well, Toy Story
Lion-
isn't
Lion
Disney.
King.
The Lion King, yes.
Yeah.
The Lion King.
I remember taking Parrish to see that in the theater.
Let's do 10 through
oldest
6
son.
for fun.
He was born at that time.
Let's do 10 through 6 for fun because
Okay.
they're fun.
Yeah. And the person I was thinking of was Colin McLaughlin.
Number 10 is about to be a TV show on AMC.
Interview with the Vampire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Made $99 million. We can
That
do
was
that.
10.
Yeah,
Wow.
we
That's a really, okay, as a huge Anne Rice fan, I've read everything that woman has written, even her religious stuff, which I'm not into, but I've read everything she's written. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was as close as it probably could be for some Hollywood people to get a hold of it and mess up some. Obviously, it's not accurate, but it was. I thought the characters were captured well.
I like it. I like it.
I thought the ending was very wrong, and that's the main part that bothered me. It's almost like two books. They try to combine the first.
I think
two
that is
books.
what they did.
Yeah, they tried to combine the first two books, but I liked it.
Number 9 is a Robin Williams film that was most recently a show on Broadway.
Is it Mrs. Doubtfire?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hey.
Nice.
Rest in peace, Mrs. Doubtfire. That's now off Broadway.
Oh.
Did not last long. Number 8 is a Jim Carrey movie.
The Mask.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There you go.
Number 7, a Keanu Reeves movie.
Speed.
He feels a need.
And number 6, my first clue in this will be it's a Harrison Ford film.
Indiana Jones.
No.
Air Force One.
No, that's 97.
97.
Oh.
Yeah, because we had that one when
Henry.
we did Titanic. Yeah.
Regarding Henry?
Regarding Henry.
Earlier than that.
Earlier than that.
That's J.J. Abrams' first thing.
Is it a Clancy?
It is a Clancy.
Patriot
Hunt
Games?
for Red October.
Patriot Games.
Neither one of
Patriot
those.
Oh. Which one is the one?
I know that he's in
Patriot
Indiana
Games.
Jones.
Wait.
That's
I'm
as far
glad
as y'all
you-
get.
Hold on. It's
I'm glad you know that, though.
I just know that.
It's
Fugitive?
Mm.
No,
no,
that's not
it's
Clancy.
a Clancy. It's not Patriot Games. It's
Really?
not Hunt for Red October.
No,
There's one
well,
more.
he's not even in Hunt.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hunt for Red
I
October is
know
Baldwin.
that. That was the other guy.
He's in only 2 of
Clear
these.
and Present Danger?
Clear and Present
Thank
Danger.
you. Thank you. I was trying to.
And that was the top 10 movies of 1994.
Fun fact: my son Jack is named Jack Ryan after the Clancy novels, which I was reading at the time.
While she was conceiving him on the day.
After the books came out. Now I wish I'd named him like Dante or Randall or some shit.
Pocahontas came out in 1995.
Yeah.
So my bad for shouting out.
So your
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is my Toy Story.
Here we go.
We'll get
Colors of
T-shirts.
the wind to get
That's
ya.
a T-shirt
That's
in
a
the
T-shirt.
making.
That's a
Your
T-shirt.
Pocahontas is my Toy Story.
We'll put that as a
Nice.
We'll have to put that out. Well, guys, thank you so much. Again, you are all welcome
Yeah.
to come back and see us
Thank you
for
having us.
Clerks 2. We'll do that in a couple
Yeah.
Feel
weeks.
free, Caleb. You can also come back in 2 weeks if you'd like.
Caleb works here. He has to.
I'll figure out. You know, I'll try to
Check your
schedule it.
schedule. Check your schedule. We'll see.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank y'all.
and
This
we'll,
is the
we'll
last
do it
drink
again.
was delicious.
Thank you.
So much fun.
And now I can't wait for her to see Clerks 2.
I know.
Yes.
3.
Like
Yeah.
I,
I
I feel like my heart's gonna
break.
break
Yeah.
a little
It's
bit.
not.
It's not.
I
but you will
like.
do this a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clerks 2 is like out there.
Yeah.
It's great.
That was
Jay-
one time I felt embarrassed in a movie theater.
Jay,
Just like social embarrassment.
Jay
for whatever reason.
is fantastic. That's all I gotta say.
I will
about it.
dare say Randall is fantastic.
Randall
in
is
that.
also
Randall.
fantastic. No, Randall's also very fantastic. There's a lot of
Jay-
fantastic stuff in this film.
Goodbye horses.
Yeah. Now, what about the rest of the Askewniverse? All the ancillary stuff. Have you seen any of that?
Are you talking about?
Rats,
Like
Dogma,
I've never-
Mallrats.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
apparently, I have seen Jay and Silent Bob because I know the scene. It could just be that I know the scene where he puts on the chapstick
Yeah.
and
That kinda
he
went
says,
viral for
"Would
a
you
while."
do me?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would do me." I know that part, but that's what I know. That's it.
in Clerks too.
That's in Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Why
Clerks
would
2.
you like tell her that, guys?
Oh, no.
Let
I
her
thought that was
discover
in
that.
Jay and Silent Bob.
No, that was in Clerks 2.
So, but I know that happens.
But that's it.
I literally cannot think of anything else that happens. So,
The
Then you
education
I just know the
of
scene.
Justina
Then you
is
haven't
gonna be
seen it.
awesome.
Now we
Because
play
you
my
would
favorite
remember.
game with Justina. What do you think Clerks 2 is about?
okay, so part of this is going to be spoiled because I heard you guys talk about it being at a restaurant, like a fast food place.
Sure.
So what I'm going to guess is that Dante, he gets fast food. So he goes from, I'm going to say that the convenience store burns down because it is on fire anyway, okay? So there's a fire burning and it becomes literal and it burns down and he just has to go to some other place and it happens to be across the street. So he crosses the street and he's working there. For the love of God, I hope What's Her Nuts is not with him.
What's
and
Her
she
Nuts?
went to the Asian, who's it?
Caleb Bree.
She's going to go sang away.
Yeah, sang away.
She's going to sang away. I hope. God, I hope. And then because I know Jay and Silent Bob are in it because of the chapstick thing, they just follow the next place that they can sell their drugs. And so how it ends.
I don't care what you say, and never in a million years are you going to get the ending of this movie.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel
Because
like
if you did, I'd be like, you saw the movie. Because there's
Right.
no way you're going to get the
I feel
ending.
like it's going to end very similarly where he has to open a store and then it just ends with him having to close this. Like it's just like a day and then it moves on. So I feel like it's going to be the same thing, but now he's in a fast food place. And it's like hellfire could be happening, and then it's like flipping the sign over and be like, same time tomorrow.
Nice.
That's how I feel like it's going to end.
I can't wait for you to watch
I
this
can't
movie.
wait.
Yeah. And now I want to watch you watch
Right.
this movie.
A reaction.
I'm pretty
film.
sure he has that thought every week.
Every week.
Right?
Every week.
I speak to the
I feel
Because
like
I've
you need to
watched
set
movies
your
with her, and
phone
it's
up,
great.
Though. Like, you need to set your phone up on time lapse just so we can watch a video of you being like,
My reaction's more like, is this movie really about whales? This whole movie? They're just trying to find whales?
Yeah, during Star Trek, the last one we did,
I messaged.
She messaged and goes, you guys weren't joking. This movie's seriously about whales? Yes.
Yes.
It's about whales.
Like, I
It's
need to
about
start
whales.
doing that because that's what it usually is. It's me going, well, took a picture. I was like, time to make a drink.
We
And
need
then
to-
it started. I was like, this movie's seriously all about them finding whales. And I sent the same gif of Kitty pouring tequila in a
Yeah.
pitcher. And I was like, time to make another drink.
We need to just screenshot our conversations for the show.
That
Yeah.
was great. I made ocean water last
ooh,
week.
yum.
It was good. It was real good.
Well,
Anyway.
thanks for having us. It was amazing.
Thank you for
You're
having
always
me.
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah.
Now I want to go home and watch the second one right now.
And on that
Do
note,
it.
this is Sky saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours.
Goodbye.
Bye.